is. He's on the big screen. I can see him.
Yeah. What's he doing?
He's visualising. How good. Right on cue too.
Go Panthers and Storms from Louise and Alice on our way up to the game in Sydney. Listen to your call. Fantastic. Thank you, Louise. Thank you, Alice. Tomorrow, by the way, we're on air from 2 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, and we're back to Shark Park. Yes. Can't wait. And we'll be there for a 1-hour pre-game show, and then at 3 o'clock, what a game this could be. The unbeaten teams, Newcastle and the Warriors, albeit the Knights badly depleted without Kalen Ponga, without Dylan Brown, and it looks like Fletcher Sharp won't be back in time for this game against the Warriors, who have been terrific. They don't have Chanel Harris-Tavita because he suffered a Category 1 last Friday night in the Warriors' heavy win in the end over the Canberra Raiders. But what a good matchup early season that's unexpected.
Yeah, it will be a good matchup, and I still think that, the way that it's going to go for Crossland did a good job when he came into the middle of the field, and when he went to half, not from the middle of the field, he still continued to do what they wanted to do, kick into a corner. So they can compete with the Warriors, but they've got to be really good. To miss those three big names, Dylan Brown, Kalen Ponga and Fletcher Sharp, not in the side, it's very hard to beat the Warriors the way they're playing.
Mind you, I spoke to the Newcastle coach, Louis, Justin Holbrook, on NRL Monday and said, how do you cope without Ponga and Brown in particular? He said, well, we have to. What choice do we have?
Yeah.
So, getting on with business.
And the good thing is, if they do go out and put a great performance in and get a win, the confidence that would be in that change room will be through the roof. So it's a big one for them. If they can get that win with those players out, mate, they're going to be a really tough side to beat this year.
Now, Louis, you and I will be calling the game at 5:30 between Cronulla Sutherland and the Dolphins. Contrasting styles. I'm really looking forward to this game. The Sharkies off to a decent start. The Dolphins, they lost their first to South and came from behind to beat Gold Coast, but they've got so much strike power. And then in the 7:30 game tomorrow night, it's South Sydney and the West Tigers. This could be a really good game too. It's a South Sydney home game being played in Gosford because Stadium Australia at the moment is being used for the Asian Cup football event. We're not far away from players taking the field. John Gibbs has made his way down to the touchline in his beautiful, high-quality floral shirt. And Gibbsy, there's still sunshine overhead. How is it down there?
Absolutely perfect, and it's actually a little bit cooler now because walking in when the rain had parted and the sun came out, it was so steamy. But this is just ideal. The ground had a bit of a walk on it. It's pretty good as well. It's had all sorts of issues, but it's been completely relayed. And the players that were doing their pre-match, they haven't made a mark on it. So it's absolutely perfect. We should see a fantastic game of footy. It's currently 23.1 degrees. A little bit steamy still, feels like 26, and there's a zephyr of a breeze, and it's coming in from the northeast, at just about 5k.
Nice. Thank you, John T. Appreciate your accuracy. On the text line, 0467 920 222. Sir Andrew. Louis, I think you should probably start calling me that.
Yes, sir.
Nice. I really enjoyed yesterday's ABC game call. I hope the ABC provide you with a uniform chauffeured stretch limo to go to games.
The only thing, it's yellow.
Gibbsy might be your companion. It's yellow.
Yeah, your stretch limo, it's yellow one. It's not a black car that you normally.
You know what? If we get a stretch limo, you could paint it whatever colour you like. Don't care. Gibbsy can't be my companion though. He likes to be on a bus when he comes to the footy. Certainly not MC. No, you're right about that. Lord Cody of Bronte. Hey guys, I'm out the front of the stadium waving up at you in spirit. Hello, Luca. Our old mate Luca, very loyal listener. Hope you're well, Luca, and we're waving right back at you, mate, even though we can't see you either. All right, Roosters and Penrith about to make their way onto the Sydney Football Stadium. We're going to be joined by analogue radio listeners, ABC local radio listeners in about 2.5 minutes. I'll run through the teams then, but the Roosters gained confidence, Luke Lewis, with their win over South Sydney last week, in a night that was all about, emotionally, South Sydney and, in particular, Alex Johnson. So that showed a bit from them, while Penrith continued its really good start of the year in Bathurst.
Yeah, they'll definitely be coming out here with confidence and thinking that they can beat the Panthers, and obviously the inclusion of Reece Robson in the middle of the field, that'll be another plus for them. It is hard. In this game, you just need to get that first win. You get that first win, it slowly starts to roll. But this is going to be a different type of team that they're coming up against tonight. I don't know what it is about this Penrith side, but every time I watch them, I get to see them. I've seen them train a couple of times now, watching them play on the footy field. This team means business this year. We're going to see some extraordinary things from this side.
Remember here last year when the Roosters played Penrith, I think it was a Friday night, we were calling the game, and Penrith had been in a slump and they conceded an early try and you thought, gosh, here they go again.
Yeah.
But then they carved them up 40-12 and it was a sign that they could turn things around. And as I replayed to Scott Sorensen on NRL Monday, that flick pass, remember that to Dylan Edwards for the try?
Well, every time I see him, he brings it up, the flick pass. Do you remember that pass I threw on against the Roosters? So, yes, I do remember.
Something with people with the initials SS. Scott Sattler tackles
always brings it up.
And Scott Sorensen.
Same.
Flick pass to Dylan Edwards. Here come the Panthers. Like I say, I'll run through the team in about 60 seconds when we're joined by local radio listeners. But Nathan Cleary leads them out there in their pink away jersey. I mean, we talk about individuals and players. Dylan Edwards against James Tedesco. Yes, please. The two fullbacks here this evening. Louis, I know your Penrith is your head match your heart.
Absolutely.
What about you, John Gibbs? Who's going to win?
I'm going to go for Penrith. They've owned the Roosters since 2020, and I can see no difference tonight, particularly as all of their key players are in and fit.
Yeah, what did I say? They won 11 of their last 12 games against the Sydney Roosters, the Penrith Panthers. And the Roosters are about to be led out here in their home ground, the Sydney Football Stadium, by their fullback and captain, James Tedesco. Crowd, to say, maybe 15,000, 16,000 here as the Roosters head to the southern end of the ground. That's where Tedesco leads them. Good evening and welcome to listeners just joining us on ABC Local Radio. Alongside Luke Lewis, John Gibbs on the touchline. I'm Andrew Moore and we're about to get cracking Friday night footy with a magnificent double-header on coming up your way on NRL Friday. Here at Sydney Roosters about to get underway against the Penrith Panthers. And then from 8 o'clock at Amy Park in Melbourne, it's the Storm against Brisbane, the grand final rematch with Brett Sprigg, Ryan Hoffman and Ian Cohen. Penrith will kick off, running left to right as you look at your radio, defending the northern end of the ground. Fullback Dylan Edwards, the wingers are Thomas Jenkins and Brian To'o, centres Paul Alamotti and Casey McLean, 5'8" plays Talangi, half and co-captain Nathan Cleary. Lock and co-captain Isaiah Yeo, second row is Liam Martin is back with Isaiah Papali'i, front row is Lindsay Smith and Moses Leota with Mitch Kenny. The bird watcher, he's the hooker in the bench of Freddie Lussick, Billy Phillips, Scott Sorensen, Luke Garner, Isaac Tunwell and Jack Cole. The coach Ivan Cleary as the kickoff is taken on the goal line by Daly Cherry Evans, gives it left to Nafahu White and a good carry by him. He scored 17 out from his own line by Lindsay Smith. As now comes left to Nawonga Waze. He scored 25 out from his own line. That Roosters team, James Tedesco fullback, wingers Daniel Tupou and Mark Nawonga Waze, who scored 9 tries in his last 5 games. Centres Junior Ponga and Robert Toya, 5'8" Daly Cherry Evans and the half Sam Walker as the Roosters take it to within 8 metres of halfway. Lindsay Collins is put to the ground by Mitch Kenny. Plays the ball, dummy, and going himself is Reece Robson. Gets to halfway centre field and just beyond. He's 2 metres in Penrith's half, bringing up the last tackle. He'll go through the Roosters forward pack in a tick. But here's the kick from halfway by Cherry Evans. Down to the northeast corner. Tom Milky Jenkins with a catch. 11 out from his own goal line. Returns it into the chase. Nafahu White, one of 3 defenders there. 18 out from the Penrith line. No score after 60 seconds. The lock for the Roosters, Egan Butcher. Second row is Siwa Wong and Angus Crichton. Front row is Lindsay Collins and Nafahu White. Hooker, Reece Robson. And the bench, Connor Watson, Blake Steep, Nat Butcher, Safetti, Cody Ramsey and Toby Rodwell. The coach, Craig Fitzgibbon. The referee out there is Grant Atkins. Touch judges Matt Nguyen and Tyson Bruff with Wyatt Raymond in the bunker. So now it's Penrith with a footy. 7 metres short of halfway. Sam Walker makes a tackle as it comes to the right. Liam Martin played it. A kick downfield. It's hurried by Nathan Cleary. Straight down the throat of Tedesco on the Roosters 10. Heads up over the 20 and he's going to be claimed 29 out from his own line. Luke Lewis, good evening to you. No score after a couple of minutes.
Yeah, good start by the Roosters. Right from the kickoff, they made some really good inroads up the middle of the field. They got over halfway. Reece Robson comes out with his first touch and gets a nice carry in there and come up with a really good defence. He set to back it up. So nice start there by the Roosters.
So now the Roosters 5 metres short of halfway. About 20, and here's a set restart given away by Penrith. And a pass comes left to Sam Walker. Knocked back, says the referee. And it's right on halfway, 20 metres in from touch on the eastern side. Good tackle by Blaze Talangi. Now centre field left it goes to Lindsay Collins. He's caught in centre field, 7 metres in Penrith territory. Now dummy half Robson spins it away left. Egan Butcher away. Walker turns it into Angus Crichton. There to greet him is Liam Martin and 2 others, including the centre coming through. Paul Alamotti, 31 out from the Penrith line. Robson goes for another set restart. Penrith give away so many of these things, they mustn't care. 20 metres out from the goal line. The new set restarts to Robson. It goes right. Walker to Cherry Evans. Short ball on. And the tackle made now on Wong. 13 out from the goal line. It's played to Robson. Goes left. Sam Walker flat past Nafahu White. Hit heavily. 8 metres out from the goal line. Martin came in over the top with Cleary. The other ball played to Robson. They go back to the right. Cherry Evans turns it in for Lindsay Collins. And he's going to be claimed 5 or 6 metres out from the Penrith goal line. 3 minutes 20 gone. No score for the Roosters attack. Comes left to a stepping Walker. Jigs and jags back to the right. He offloads away to Egan Butcher. Out the back to Desco. Then he got the pass away. Toya spins in the tackle. What a tackle, Dylan Edwards. Half a metre out from the goal line. Played on the last. Robson a kick and Edwards fields it in golden grounds. At goal line drop out Penrith. Very sharp start. Roosters 3.5 gone. No score. Early thoughts on the touchline. John Gibbs, good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening, Andrew and Luke, and to our listeners on this very, very famous match-up here between these two sides. That was good, crisp passing, good attack. They got the 6 again, but you just saw then that straight line of pink, and that's why they've only conceded 6 points total this season. Their defence is amazing.
Nathan Cleary goes short, but right down the middle. It's a spiralling kick. The ball bounces free, but a fortunate bounce for the Roosters. Straight to Reece Robson. He sends it away left to Angus Crichton. Fends away from one, then got away from Talangi, and he's finally going to be claimed by Lindsay Smith, 20 out from the Penrith line. So another set for the Sydney Roosters. 4 minutes 20 gone, no score. Played to Robson, goes left to White, away to Egan Butcher, got straight through Martin and caught now 12 out from the goal line. Moses Leota was there. Now to the left, Walker, switch of play back to the right, Tedesco. Drifts across field, got the pass away, Toya. Straight past, one dreadful attempt by Paul Alamotti, and he's in to score. Rob Toya the try. And it's now 4-0 Roosters lead Penrith. 4 minutes 45 seconds gone here at the Sydney Football Stadium. The Roosters have had all the ball in these opening few minutes, and finally the pressure tells. The Roosters managed to do what so few have been able to do, and that is absolutely crack the Penrith defence. It wasn't Alamotti, it was actually Casey McLean with a terrible tackle attempt, and Toya got straight through him to score. Roosters 4, Penrith 0, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, well, Penrith did have the Roosters covered. This just comes down to a clean one-on-one miss there. Casey McLean up against Toya. Now, Toya has got some outstanding footwork. He's strong. He's got a nice fend, and he sort of juggles the pass when he gets it, but then all of a sudden, just a little bit of a shimmy. He gets on the outside there of Casey McLean and goes over as easy as you like. That is just getting really good opportunity, back-to-back sets on the Penrith line, and then a little bit of brilliant skill there from Robert Toya to get the Roosters over early.
Let's go downstairs, Gibbsy.
Yeah, great move there by Robert Toya. This is only his 24th first grade game, and Casey McLean, still only 19, it's only his 33rd. But they had them covered. They had marked up really well, Penrith, and it just took an error from Casey McLean, but some good work, some good strong work. He beat his man on the outside, and it was all over. He had Nitawaze on his outside just in case, but that's a great start to the Roosters.
And now Sam Walker, John T with a conversion attempt, 25 out. 3 or 4 in from the eastern touchline. Roosters 4, Penrith 0, 6 minutes gone. Here's Walker with the right boot. He moves in, he strikes it here. That beautiful sound effect from Dennis Carnahan, but it misses to the right. No goal. Sydney Roosters 4, Penrith 0, 6 minutes and 11 seconds gone. trying to sync up your call with my tele broadcast. Wish me luck. Good luck, Dom. Listening in Annandale. Grand from Taree. Making my way down to Gosford for the match tomorrow. First time at a footy game since North Sydney Oval with the Bears. As a footnote, I won the grand raffle 2 home games in a row, but never got the chance. Is the kickoff taken, and Martin Wanganita-Waze with the return. Shoved back 10 metres out from his own line and 11 in from touch on the eastern side. Penrith had, one set of 6 in this opening 6.5 minutes. They keep giving away set restarts. Out Siwa Wong caught 20 out from his own line. Played to Robson. Goes left in the far thrower, and he scored 29 out from his own line. Smith was in there with Leotta. Now to go short side right. Robson to Tedesco, nearly breaks free of Talangi, but he's claimed 8 short of halfway, and also in there was Papali'i. Now it's the Roosters, centre field Egan Butcher. Up to halfway, they're making comfortable ground here, the Roosters. Off to a really impressive start on the last. It goes short side right, Cherry Evans with a midfield bomb down to Dylan Edwards. He flies high and comes down with it ahead of Wanganita-Waze and Toya. 23 out from the Penrith goal line. He plays the ball to the right. It goes to Jenkins, and he's tackled 27 out from his own line. 4-0 Roosters lead. Penrith get the footy now, and it comes away centre field to Brian To'o. He scored 34 out from his own line by Lindsay Collins. Plays it to Kenny. Goes left to Lungy to Papali'i. Gets down lower. One-hander wraparound. Ball away to McLean, but he's swarmed upon. 8 metres short of halfway by Cherry Evans and Toya. Now Kenny goes to the right. Edwards away in centre field to Smith. Knocked to the ground immediately. 2 short of halfway. Last tackle Penrith, who trail 4-0. Comes right to Cleary. And up goes the kick to the left wing of Daniel Tupou. Near the western touchline. Taken by Tupou. 19 out from his own line. And Louis will play it on his own 20. 8 gone. Roosters 4, Panthers 0.
Well, one thing I haven't seen from the Panthers, they have not struggled usually to make metres, but they are struggling today. They've only had 2 sets. I really like the attitude from the Roosters at the moment. They're turned up, their line speed's there, they're hitting in numbers, and they're doing a good job with ball in hand, getting over that 50 and kicking into corners.
Wanganita-Waze in centre field. Tackled 28 out from his own goal. Another set restart given away by Penrith. And now comes away to the left edge, and being tackled is Angus Crichton as a new set begins. 10 short of halfway, 9 in from touch western side. Played to Robson, goes right to Walker away to Collins. Papali'i and Leotta are there. 4 short of halfway, and they've lost the ball. Collins has knocked it on in the tackle. It finished up with Leotta and Isaiah Yeo. Papali'i was there at the start of the tackle, and Collins is knocked down. Gee, that could be a momentum killer. 8 minutes 45 gone. Roosters 4, Penrith 0. Touchline John Gibbs.
Well, they didn't need that. What they're going to do, though, is they've got to keep their chin up and get on with it. The Roosters, they haven't made any mistakes, but Penrith were looking for one. Good tackle there, in particular by Moses Leotta. He hit hard and under the rib cage, and as a result, Lindsay Collins was dispossessed of the ball.
So now it's going to be a scrum fed and won by Penrith, as it comes right to Brian To'o, and he's claimed about 9 metres in Sydney Roosters territory. Plays the ball to Kenny. Goes left to Yeo. Short pass onto Lindsay Smith. Got straight past Wong. Now tackled 30 metres out from the Roosters line. He'll play the ball to Kenny. They're set to the left. They go that way. Talangi with a cutout ball. McLean. Toya takes him, and over the top 2 comes Wong. About 16 out from the line. Played to Jenkins. Goes right to Lungy. Then links up. Cleary away to Yeo. Right foot step by Yeo. He's going to be rounded up here by Cherry Evans, White and Collins. 8 metres out for the goal line in front of the left upright at the southern end. Kenny, set restart Penrith. Comes left to Lungy. Takes on the line and caught 2 metres out. That's Penrith's first set restart of the night. Now Kenny goes deep right to Smith, and a flat ball. Not a good pass. Well caught by Leotta, as he's contained by Egan Butcher and Collins. 6 out from the goal line. Centre field. Kenny goes right to Cleary. Back on the inside to Liam Martin. He gets poleaxed. 10 out from his own line. Dummy half Kenny goes left to a running Cleary. He's caught just short. He was about to reach out, but he was too far short by about 6 millimetres, I reckon. Now Talangi's running around in circles, and then he claimed 9 out from the goal line. The crowd appreciating the Roosters' defence. Last tackle Penrith down 4-0. Comes right to Cleary. Puts up a very shallow kick. It's caught by Penrith. The ball thrown out the back to Collins. That was really un-Penrith-like. And the Roosters get the reward for a magnificent defensive set. They have 11 out from their own line. 10 minutes 40 gone. Sydney Roosters here leading by 4 points to 0.
There's a reason why Nathan Cleary kicks like that. He's not kicking over to Brian Toto on Daniel Tupou. He's kicking short, trying to land it on top of the halfback. I think it's Sam Walker in this occasion. I guarantee you that's where all the kicks will be tonight in that situation.
Here's Tedesco up over the 30. Easily step past Lindsay Smith. And the human pinball will play at 13 short of halfway. Robson dummies his way up the middle. Finally claimed on the halfway line by Martin. Last tackle Roosters. It's played to Walker. Goes right. Cherry Evans the kick from the halfway paint. Down to the northeast corner. Jenkins awaits with the catch. 10 metres out from his own goal line. Brings it back to the 20. And that's where he's wrapped up. 11 minutes 30 gone. NRL Friday on ABC Sport. And the Roosters with the early try to Rob Toya and a 4-0 lead. Penrith now. It's played and it comes to the right. Alamotti with a hit up. He ran straight through the centre there against him. Junior Ponga plays at 15 short of halfway to Kenny. Goes to the field left to Edwards, who ran straight across field. That's unlike Dylan Edwards. Taken easily, 10 short of halfway. Now Kenny goes right to Yo. Tucks it under the left arm and gains valuable meters right up the middle. He'll play it on the last. 3 metres in Roosters territory to Kenny. Comes to the right to Cleary. Runs, beats Robson. Offloads Martin away. Alamotti. To'o kicks it into the back of Tupou. Recovered now by Alamotti. Still the last tackle. He sends it right to To'o. Hot potato. Martin to Edwards. Then away Cleary. Settles and puts in a very average kick. Straight to Tedesco. And much ado about nothing on that play. Tedesco straight past 1-2. Bing, bing, bing. Pass the third. Tedesco over the 40. Cleary's got him after a terrible kick. Set this up for Tedesco on halfway. Plays the ball now to Cherry Evans. Set restart here for the Roosters again. It goes left away. Junior Ponga's tackled 29 out. The Roosters look so sharp. 12 and a half gone. They lead 4-0 and they might score again. Walker goes left to Tupou. He gets a one-hander away. Punch back by Walker. Dribbles him on the ground for Robson. He's taken by Yo and Liotta. 23 out from the Penrith line. Out the ball play to Walker. Cut out ball right. Cherry Evans away to White. Right foot step into Papali'i, Smith and Kenny. Tackle 15 out from the goal line. Plays the ball to Robson. They go to the right. Cherry Evans out the back. Tedesco links up with Toya. Toya looking for a double. He's over. Can he get it down? No, he lost it trying to score. Rob Toya. Grant Atkins says knock on. 13 minutes 20 gone. Penrith survived that. Roosters 4, Penrith 0. Touchline John Gibbs.
Well, that was desperate defence. What about the counter-attack, though, by the Roosters? It's been magnificent. They've come here with a positive attitude. A great run by Tedesco after a pretty ordinary kick by Nathan Cleary. And that came after a series of rush passes. But Nathan, he didn't adapt. As Louis said, their plan is to kick shallow. That one, because it had been going backwards, he could have put it up and given his chasers a chance. But Tedesco, he just made mincemeat of them.
They have two very tall wingers, don't they? The Roosters, both Tupou and Mark Nwanga-Nidowaze. As Penrith wins the scrum and To'o caught 12 out from his own line. 14 gone, Roosters 4, Penrith 0. Comes to the right to Liam Martin on fresh legs. He's caught 24 out from his own line by, in there was the setter Junior Ponga. Now set restart to Penrith at second of the night. An offload comes to Kenny, away to Isaiah Yo. Good footwork by Yo. Tackled 32 out from his own goal line. In there was Egan Butcher. And also Reece Robson. Another set restart. He's busy at the moment, Grant Atkins. Now Dylan Edwards centre field. Over halfway. Tedesco, great tackle. Right around the ankles. Then he lifts him up and puts him on his head, Tedesco. And as per normal with the Roosters, arms are flapping all over the place, but that was a blatant penalty going to Penrith. Look, it was almost in slow motion. It wasn't overly dangerous, but it was a blatant penalty. Goes to the Panthers, 32 out from the Roosters line. Roosters 4, Penrith 0, almost 15 gone. Luke Lewis.
Yeah, that was a something sort of from nothing there for the Panthers. A little bit of an offload, looks up, there's a bit of a space there for Dylan Edwards, who was a beautiful little break. I thought he was going to get Tedesco for speed there for a split second, and then he gets him by 1 foot, and he does sort of pick him up and put him on his head. Like you said, not dangerous, but definitely penalty sufficient.
They fine touch 20 out, tap target, and it comes right to Isaiah Papali'i. Caught 14 out. Already, this is worth the price of admission, Tedesco and Dylan Edwards. As now Penrith with it close to the goal line. Lindsay Smith dummies into 3 defenders. Claim 10 metres out. Roosters 4, Penrith 0. 15 minutes 30 gone. Dummy half Kenny. Sends it left to Cleary. Turns it into Papali'i. And he's wrapped up here by Collins. And also coming across Siwa Wong 8 out from the line. Short side left it comes to Talangi. He's caught 5 away. Roosters defence so far close to their goal line has been superb. Another short side to the left to McLean. He's very close. He's half a metre out. Last tackle Penrith. Kenny goes short side left to Jenkins. And he gets straight past the Wanganita Waze to score. They just kept going poof, away to the short side, poof, away to the short side, and it paid off on the last tackle. Tom Jenkins scores for the Panthers. 16 minutes gone. Sydney Roosters 4, Penrith 4. Kick to come, Panthers, Louis.
Yeah, well, they did. They seen an opportunity down there. It was Mitch Kenny who just kept going there. Little short ball down a short side. Nothing happening. Then Casey McLean nearly goes over, gets very, very close. But it was a nice, quick, clean play the ball from Casey McLean that creates the opportunity. He's still got 2 Roosters on the ground. They've got 1 winger standing there in position in Mark Wanganita Waze, and he got Jenkins just on his outside, and he couldn't get the ball. He tried to reach out and knock the ball down there to Wanganita Waze, but that was a really nice pass and well summed up there from Mitch Kenny.
Touchline, John Gibbs.
He got caught with his pants down, Martin Wanganita Waze, because that was never on. That was the shortest short side. He just had to mark up on Milky Jenkins, and he didn't. I don't know what he was doing. He was napping. I don't know what he was doing, Marky Mark. I just want to revisit for a quick moment that break that was made by Dylan Edwards. Great pass by Lindsay Smith. He's lucky he wasn't in the bin. Not for the fact that he put him in a dangerous position, but he's made a clean break, was looking to come up with a good, quick play the ball, and he stopped him doing that. And that's why Nathan Clear was arguing the toss with the referee, Grant Atkins, because he couldn't get a quick play the ball. He should have been in the bin, Tedesco.
John Gibbs on fire down there on the touchline. He's a close talking Gibbsy, and he was dead set half a millimetre away from Ralph Tucker's face as he was giving that description. Here's Nathan Cleary, 20 out. Millimetres in from the eastern touchline. He is as close to the touchline as Gibbsy was from Ralph. 4 all the score, in for a ripper here. Friday night footy. 17 minutes 20 gone. Luke Lewis, John Gibbs, I'm Andrew Moore, and then it's Melbourne against Brisbane. Here's Cleary. He's in really good form with the boot. But it's a tough one. He moves in, he strikes it, heading towards the post. Waved away, no goal, missed it near side. So both Sam Walker and Nathan Cleary missed sideline conversion attempts. And with 1 try apiece, it is 4-all between the Roosters and Penrith. 22 minutes 30 left in the half. On the text line, 0467 920 222. I don't mean to dob, but I think you did get a call out last night, Luke. Andrew rattled off the names of 3 or 4 good blokes, none of which was you, and MC said, what about Louis? Andrew can fill you in on what he answered from Andy. I think my answer
Thanks, Andy. I appreciate the feedback.
I think my answer was, yeah, Louis is a great bloke.
I don't believe it.
I think I was 2 greats at least. Here's the kickoff. Taken in goal. Comes away right to Lindsay Smith. And Smith tackles 10 out from his own line. Yeah, we're talking about some of the classy people we've got working with us, and Tungy and Dean Hallertau. You, I'm sure I mentioned you in the top 4. Sure,
I can see on the look in your face, you brushed me.
Now, would never do that. Comes rightly Yotta. He scores 21 out from his own line. Plays the ball to Kenny. Goes right to Liam Martin. He's caught just outside his 30. 4 all the score. Now it's Kenny. He sends it away. Open side left to Isaiah Yo. Good tough carry to within 8 of halfway. And he'll play it on the last tackle. Kenny short side right to Cleary. The kick from just inside the 40, but it's straight down the throat of Tedesco. 10 metres out from the Roosters line. All right, we saw the break from Edwards. What do you got, Jimmy? He steps here into the tackle. Really a high shot there coming in from Talangi. 20 out from the Roosters line. It's played. It comes left edge to Daniel Tupou. He's wrapped up 27 away from his own line. Sydney Roosters with it at 4 all with Penrith. Played to Walker. Sends it right to Junior Ponga. In the left centre's tackle, 33 out from his own line by Liotta and Yo. Now it's Egan Butcher going for a trot. Knocked to the ground by Papali'i. 9 metres short of halfway. Also in there was Talangi. 20 in from the eastern touchline. Robson sends it left to Nafahu wide. Battling for every millimetre. Finally on the deck. 2 metres in Penrith territory. Last tackle Roosters. Robson goes right. Cherry Evans with a kick. Going to come down on about the Penrith 20. Dylan Edwards takes it. And he's put to the ground immediately by Collins. 24 out from the Penrith line. 19 minutes gone. Sydney Roosters 4. Penrith 4 here at the Sydney Football Stadium as Penrith go left edge to McLean, and he's wrapped up there by Nwanganita Waze and Cherry Evans. Now 15 in from the eastern touchline. Kenny goes right to Jenkins, and the Penrith try scorer is claimed. 14 short of halfway. Played to Kenny. Sent it right to Edwards. Then away to Cleary. Links up with Alamotti. Steps back in field into Ponga and Walker and caught. 2 short of halfway. Angus Crichton there as well. Dylan Edwards dummy half. Goes left Liotta. Then away to Yo. Dummies. Takes them on himself. White is there with Egan Butcher to bring him down. 8 metres in Rooster territory. Centre field. Last play. Kenny goes right to Cleary. Dummy the kick. They run it. It goes right. Liotta to Martin. Alamotti and no look at good hands from Brian To'o. Puts in a little stab kick. He regathers it. Puts it on the toe again. He regathers it. Get out of here. Brian To'o scores an unbelievable try. It was a double grubber and chase. Delving into his inner Alan Langer. Brian To'o magic. Penrith 8, Roosters 4, 20 gone. Luke Lewis. Every set could be ruined by a knock-on for the next 60 minutes. It'll still be worth it. What a performance by To'o.
Oh, that's my wow moment for the weekend. What about that for a little kick? He gets right through, puts a beautiful little kick through again between a couple of more Roosters players, turns the corner, then there's the line. That was beautiful skill. This pass too from Paul Alamotti, not the best pass. He gets it off the bounce. Then he sums up the situation and he goes, well, there's not much I can do. I've got to come up with a nice little kick. And the bounces are absolutely pinpoint. And just to think on the spot at that speed, it looks easy, but that is a really hard thing to do, and he's executed on the biggest stage. That is awesome.
Gibbsy, that happened almost in front of you. What about the skill level there?
Magnificent by Brian To'o. Not only that, it was a really good thing to do. They planned this. They all stood off, and Nathan Cleary was over to run the ball on the last tackle because they were expecting a kick. I told Louis, look out for Brian To'o scoring, and Louis knows why. They were both tied in 4th outright for the Penrith Panthers and 89 tries. That takes Brian To'o to 90, one ahead of Louis for Penrith, that is. Of course, Louis scored 125, as he informed me, but that is a brilliant way to go past Luke Lewis.
Well, it's 126, really, Gibbsy, if you consider the imaginary one in Coffs.
That is true.
Of course.
That was real.
Here's Cleary, 18 out, 15 in for the western touchline. 8-4 Penrith. Here comes Cleary with the right boot, strikes it, likes it, hits the goal. He's 1 out of 2. And it's Penrith now in front. Penrith 10, Sydney Roosters 4, 18 minutes 30 to go in the first half. What about the start of this mighty NRL doubleheader tonight? Extraordinary skill. 10-4 Panthers on the text line, 0467 920 222. Seems the lack of headgear hasn't affected Brian. Outstanding. Andrew, join the call as always. Go the Chooks. At least it ain't raining like last night. Shout out to Filthy Phil from Mudgee, says Bill from the bush. Louis, you are unforgotten, says Kane from Aberdeen.
Thanks, Kano.
See, mate, I'd never, ever forget you. Here's the Panthers with a 10 out from their own line.
Disappointed, to be fair.
But all I've said is nice things about you. Why are you disappointed?
Because you didn't mention.
I did.
Or Gibbsy. Gibbsy, he didn't mention you either.
Penrith for 13 out from their own goal line. The ball played. Actually, I did mention Gibbsy. Kenny. Long ball goes right. Liotta away. Liam Martin away to Alamotti. Got straight past Ponga. He's over the 30. Over the 40. He's got back up in Cleary. He links up with Cleary. Juggles it. Back to Dylan Edwards. And Dylan Edwards, who might now be the best backer-upper in rugby league. He's over to score between the sticks. What a try, Penrith. 17 minutes, 45 left first half. Penrith 14, Roosters 4. To'os was brilliant individually. This was brilliant team try. Luke Lewis from 90 metres out. Set up by Paul Alamotti. Finished by Dylan Edwards.
Well, the thing that blows my mind about the Penrith Panthers, they were out on their feet there for a while. They didn't get many opportunities. And then all of a sudden, a try to Jenkins. Then backed up with brilliant skill from Brian To'o. And now this time, just really nice hands coming out of their own end. On play 2, shifts over to Paul Alamotti. That is beautiful footwork. Really nice left-hand fend. He's in the open field. And the only Blake really chasing is Sam Walker. And he's got 3-point Panthers pushing up support. And I tell you what, Nathan Cleary had to do a bit of a job there to turn his back to get that ball back in. He could feel the heat on his tail. And then all of a sudden, Dylan Edwards just pushing out the middle of the field, goes under the black dock as easy as you like. And now it's going to be 18-4 in a matter of a couple of minutes.
Well, it's 14-4.
16-4.
Yeah, 16-4. But Gibbsy, the last 7 or 8 minutes, it's easy to forget the Roosters prior to that had been on top.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. And that was, as you say, Andrew, a magnificently executed team try. Started about 8 metres out from their own line. And we saw Robert Toya make mincemeat of Casey McLean on the other side of the field. On this occasion, it was Alamotti, a little shimmy on the outside, the palm to Junior Ponga, who was left clutching at grass, and then the backing up by Nathan Cleary, and also Dylan Edwards was fantastic. So here he is, Cleary from right in front. They're shell-shocked, the Roosters.
2 incredible tries in the space of 2.5 minutes. Cleary in front, 11 out, makes no mistake, kicks the goal. He's 2 out of 3. Penrith 16, Sydney Roosters 4. Here at the Sydney Football Stadium with Luke Lewis, John Gibbs, I'm Andrew Moore on NRL Friday. Boy, oh boy. On the text line, 0467 920 222. And to send a text right through until 10:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Time. G'day from Lakes Church, Tuggerah. Enjoying the call while working with my client from Jason at Tuggerah. Thanks, Jason. Mark says, I think I heard Louis talk about a try he scored in Vegas once. Well, I don't remember that.
No, I didn't play in Vegas, but hey, never say never.
Here's a kickoff returned by Lindsay Smith, taking 10 out from his own line. Nick in Dubbo says up the Wars. It became tomorrow against Newcastle at Hunter Stadium for the unbeaten Warriors and the unbeaten Knights. Penrith 18 out from their own line. Papali'i plays it to Kenny. Goes centre field right to Dylan Edwards. And midway through the tackle count, he's felled by Collins and Robson. 24 out from his own line. Now Kenny left to right it goes. And the pass comes from Isaiah Yeo. Penrith just outside their own 30-metre line. And Scott Sorensen's tackle. Plays the ball. It goes to the left to Isaiah Yeo. Runs into Egan Butcher and Crichton. 10 short of halfway. Last tackle Penrith have opened up a 16-4 lead over the Roosters after 24.5 minutes. Nathan Cleary the kick from inside the 40. Daniel Tupou did not have to move. Takes it 18 out from his own line. And a really good chase headed there by Liam Martin and To'o. And they bring him down. 27 out from the Roosters line. Connor Watson comes on the field. So we've got Connor Watson against Scott Sorensen. Two of our colleagues now here on ABC Sport. Comes to the right to Nwanganita Waze. Wrapped up 11 metres short of halfway for the Roosters. Plays the ball Robson. Goes centre field left to Watson. He'll be used now with Reece Robson back as a middle forward for the most part. Plays the ball to Robson. Goes to the left. Walker away to a leaping Crichton. Papali'i now on the right side of the field to make the tackle with Smith. 10 metres inside Penrith territory. Last tackle Roosters trailing by 16-4. Quarter of an hour left in the half. Kick from Walker down the throat of Jenkins. He fields it just out from his own line and a great chase by Tedesco. I thought like you did, Lou, he must have been in front of the kicker. Now comes away to the right to McLean and he's dumped on play 2, 7 out from his own line. Now the impressive young forward Billy Phillips comes on for the Panthers as well. And it looks like Lindsay Smith is coming off. Liotta was the one replaced by Scott Sorensen. So here's the Panthers on their own 20. 14 minutes, 18 seconds left in the first half. Penrith 16, Roosters 4, Talangi dummies court. Cherry Evans brings him down, 15 short of halfway. Last tackle Panthers. Now it's Cleary. Bit of room to move, drills a kick and finds the open space between Tedesco and Tupou. And it's going to be Tupou to pick it up. 4 metres out from his own line in front of the southern post. Phillips led the chase. He runs away from him though with the Papali'i. Phillips there as well and Kenny in the tackle made. 18 out for the Roosters. Line is 16-4. Panthers lead Roosters here at the SFS as Wanganita-Waze easily gets rid of Kenny and Cleary. Beats Cleary a second time. Away from another one. Sends a one-hander along the deck. Junior Pogga lost it into the hands of O'To'o. And Penrith turned the fence into attack. To'o caught 21 out. Ball played to Cleary. Goes left Alamotti with a left foot step into Watson. And he's claimed with help from Robson. 14 out from the Roosters line. Mistake coming from the Roosters. Wanganita-Waze as Sorensen links up left with Phillips. He's tackled 9 away from the goal line. Dummy half is Kenny. Options both ways. Goes left to Cleary. Stops, drops, comes back inside to Yo. Offloads in the tackle to Edwards. And he's taken ball and all by Crichton. 10 out for the Roosters line. 2 tackles left. Kenny goes left to Yo to Cleary. Then got the pass. Oh, quick hands to Lungy. McLean to Jenkins. It's a double for Milky. Tom Jenkins scores a try for Penrith. The mistake from the Wanganita-Waze, and Penrith's in a mood. They make them pay with 12 minutes 40 to go in the half. Jenkins scores on the left wing, and all of a sudden it's all Penrith. Panthers 20, Roosters 4, kick to come. 27 minutes 30 gone, Luke Lewis.
Yeah, brilliant skill here from the Panthers, and it's really nicely set up here with Nathan Cleary. You can see he wanted to go there one early, but they just weren't in the right position, so he turns it back inside to Isaiah Yo that sets up the play. Then all of a sudden he comes back, he looks he gets the setup. They call this a training try. They've got their 2 lead runners, and look how relaxed they are when they get these passes out in front. Isaiah Yo goes into the line, out the back to Cleary. Simple little tip on, quick hands, beautiful skill there from Casey McLean to find Jenkins on the speed, on the burst at full speed and score a simple try. Great footwork there from Jenkins as well.
Yeah, Louis, that is just a perfectly executed movement from the Panthers. John Gibbs on the touchline.
And it was a case of chasing the scoreboard because Wanganita-Waze made a magnificent break, and then for some reason, instead of taking a tackle, he decided to throw it out to Junior Ponga, who got the shock of his life. To'o picked it up again, and they're on the back foot. Now, I have been on official Milky Morsel Watch, and Tom Jenkins has done something very special. You know what that is? He's become the first Panther in history to score doubles in the first 3 rounds of a competition. So that's back-to-back round 1, back-to-back round 2, and back-to-back round 3.
So are you suggesting in terms of doubles he's gone back-to-back-to-back?
That's right. It's 2 cubes.
Oh, no, there's the old math teacher. Nice. Here's Cleary, 21 out, 3 metres in from the eastern touchline. Don't look at me like that, Louis. That's a Gibbsy math thing, not mine. 20 points to 4. 11 minutes 30 left in the half. Nathan Cleary has kicked 2 from 3. Tough one here. Moves in with the right boot. Cleary strikes it, heading towards the post. Likes it, kicks the goal. His 3rd from 4 attempts. Penrith 22, Sydney Roosters 4 here at the Sydney Football Stadium. And Louis, there's still 11 minutes and 19 seconds left in the half.
Oh, isn't it funny? The Roosters were dominating the first 7 or 8 minutes of this game. And
First
it didn't look
15.
like Penrith looked tight, and all of a sudden just a couple of simple little bits of movement and skill from the Panthers, and the Roosters on the back foot. It's 22 points to 4 and 11 minutes to go. That blows my mind. And it's still at least another 2 or 3 tries before half time.
And they've got a 22 to 4 lead with the best defence in the comp as well. So here's the kickoff from Tedesco. They've got a mountain to climb here, the Sydney Roosters. One thing you would imagine, they simply cannot let any more points in here in this half.
And if they do score again, will you call your famous
ball comes away to Isaiah Papali'i. I will not be bullied. The tackle here made by Nat Butcher, the human thumbs out there. 17 out from the Penrith line, played to Kenny, goes right to Sorensen, and he's bustled to the ground in centre field. 19 out from his own line. Plays the ball to Kenny. Sends it left to Billy Phillips. His impressive forwards claim. 27 out from the Penrith line. Kenny. Now goes right Cleary. Let's get out of here. Kick from his own 30. Doesn't have the angle for a 40-20. And the Wanganita-Waze was sprinting back for it. Picks it up 18 out from his own line, but he's confronted by a pink wall. And down he goes, courtesy of Sorensen and Talangi. 27 out from the Roosters line. Plays the ball to Cherry Evans. Sends it left to Toya. He's caught 32 out from the Roosters line. Almost half an hour gone. Penrith 22, Roosters 4 up to the Roosters led 4 points to 0. Now the Roosters left edge and Tupou's driven back. Phillips was in there with Nathan Cleary and Liam Martin. Played to Robson. Sends it open side right. And the tackle here made 12 metres short of halfway on Nat Butcher. Plays the ball to Robson. Goes right to a stepping Watson. And he's caught 5 short of halfway. Last tackle, Roosters centre field, southern end. Robson goes left. Walker the kick. Sends it down to Edwards. Drifting back, takes it. 6 out from his own goal line. Heads up over the 10-metre line. Put a step on, but he's nailed. 19 out from his own line. And there's a penalty.
Gets him on the chin.
Yeah, high tackle against the Roosters. So it's only the second penalty of the game. Both have gone to Penrith. Nat Butcher is the player penalised. Just hit him around the chin.
There wasn't much in it.
No. It was contact, though, above the ball, onto the chin. And so a penalty goes to Penrith. Again, they've had the only 2 penalties, and the set restarts are 4-3 to the Roosters as Penrith finds touch by Cleary, 4 metres short of halfway.
Yeah, well, you don't want to give gifts to Penrith coming out of their own end. This is going to be an opportunity for Penrith to put in an attacking kick. So they've got to defend well here, the Roosters. I don't think they can afford another try before half-time.
No way. Liam Martin from the tack. Caught 7 metres in Roosters territory. Played to Kenny. Goes left Sorensen. Right up the middle he goes into Stephen Watson. 32 out from the goal line. Plays the ball now to Mitch Kenny. Centre field left to Billy Phillips with a left foot step. Angled run taken. 24 out from the Sydney Roosters line. 8 minutes 40 to go in the half. Penrith 22, Roosters 4. Now Isaiah Yeo up the middle. And he's taken over the top, about 15 out by Nat Butcher. Plays the ball to Kenny. Goes left to Talangi. Kicks it over the top to Nwanganita Waze. Caught it in the field of play and shoved back in goal. That's where he's tackled. It will be a goal line dropout for the Sydney Roosters, who trailed 22-4 with 8.5 left in the first half.
Well, I reckon during the week the Panthers must have been looking at that right edge defence of the Roosters, because their attack is just going left. You've got Nathan Cleary set up on the right with a couple of plays, so there's something that they've seen during the week.
Here we go, an important line dropout, a short one from Sam Walker to the eastern side. Looks perfectly weighted, up they go. Ricochet rabbit, play on, says the referee, and Penrith in the end throw the ball back in, and it was from not clean, but it has been knocked on by the Roosters. I think he said Nwanganita Waze has knocked it on, and Sam Walker instantly racing in. I think they want to challenge this, the Roosters. 7 minutes 40 to go in the half. Let's listen to Grant Atkins.
Captain's challenged by the Roosters. My decision is that it's a knock-on off mark. That's what my live ruling is.
And Sam Walker could not get there quick enough to encourage James Tedesco to challenge. It's right on the far side of the field.
We've cleared the kick chase in the lead-up. It's a genuine contest by both players.
It's White Raymond in the bunker. Jenkins against Nwanganita Waze.
The ball is touched by Mark Nwanganita-Wase. We just need to determine which direction it goes.
I'm saying that goes forward there.
I can't argue with the referee's decision either.
A chance to look at it in slow motion, so we'll come to the right outcome.
But this is the part I don't get. How can you rule that this goes forward?
From the touch, the ball continues to go forward. This is a knock-on by Roosters, and the challenge is unsuccessful.
Lose the captain's challenge as well in the first half was when he said he didn't touch the ball.
I don't think that was a really tough decision for White Raymond. So Roosters challenge gone, knock on Roosters, touchline, John Gibbs.
Yeah, that's amazing. And when you look at that replay, it looked for all intents and purposes that he's touched the ball. But Nwanganita Waze has told his skipper Tedesco that he didn't touch it. So it's not three-dimensional, but for all intents and purposes, that looked like he touched the ball.
He definitely touched the ball.
He did. I've just seen another replay as you did, Andrew. It is quite amazing. It's been a bad 5 minutes or so for Marky Mark.
Penrith wins the scrum. They take it right on that eastern side of the field. It ends up centre of the ground to Yeo, and he scored 9 out from the Roosters line. Penrith in search of a 5th try. Kenny sends it right to Cleary. Then a short ball away to Martin. Liam Martin steps into the defence. It's a bustling run. He stands in the tackle 4 metres out. Dummy half Kenny drifts to the left. Links up with Cleary. Puts in a left foot kick. Coming through as the chase, but Tedesco too smart. He got there before Billy Phillips. Tackled by Cleary, half a metre out. And the Roosters will breathe a sigh of relief. That was early in the tackle count, the kick from Cleary. But Tedesco read it brilliantly. Roosters survive. 9 metres out from their own goal line, albeit trailing 22-4. Oh, here's a drop ball from the Roosters. It's put down by Toya, 12 out from their own line, and Penrith will get a scrum feed, Louis, with 6 minutes 45 in the half remaining.
Well, they're going to keep giving the Panthers opportunities like this. This is just a simple carry. Toy just comes up for a bit of a drop ball. It might be Dewey out there, but you come up against a world-class side who love to score tries, who attack is absolutely brilliant when it's on, and their footy is on at the moment, so it's going to be a big set. I'm backing the Panthers go over this set, Andrew.
So now it's a great chance. 10 in from the eastern touchline. The try, is it coming? Cleary dummies his way to within 8 metres of the goal line when he's tackled. He'll play the ball. It's a penalty going to Penrith for hand sweeping across from Connor Watson. 3 penalties to the Panthers, and they'll take the 2 from right in front to extend the lead beyond 3 converted tries with 6 minutes left in the half. On the text line 0467 920 222. Does the Fox get a royalty for the post-try celebrations? Asked Rocky. Andrew, this is when you say I see it, but I don't believe it, says Rabs.
Go back 10.
Really hard to figure out what's happening. Listening commentary is flat and unexcited. Even when Penrith is at the line, except for that To'o try. Get heaps of excitement when Roosters have the ball in their half.
Going.
Some people here painted on ears. Yeah, I'm really biased towards the Roosters. I love it. Here's Cleary right in front, 10 metres out to make it 24-4, and Cleary kicks the goal. He is now 4 from 5. Penrith 24, Sydney Roosters 4. 5 minutes 10 to go in the half. Also on the text line 0467 920 222. Go Penrith, says Dave in Nowra with a question mark. Are you unsure where you are, Dave?
Probably a typo.
Could be. G'day from Lakes. I put that from Tuggerah. Yeah, we read that one a little bit earlier. Just refreshing the screen. We all remember the early game. Said bingo call, Andrew. Says Bulldogs. Raiders. Oh, yeah. Well, that came up last night. Blake Austin. Here's the kickoff. Penrith come away with it from their own goal line. It's 24-4 to Penrith. 4.5 left in the half. 4 tries to 1 thus far. Now Isaiah Papali'i in centre field. He's wrapped up 16 out from his own line. Plays the ball to Kenny. Flat pass right to Sorensen up the middle. Runs into Watson, steep, and he's tackled. 28 out from his own line. Also in there was Butcher, and that was Nat Butcher. Out of the left, Isaiah Yeo. The tackle made 14 short of halfway. Played to Kenny. Comes open side right to Wedgwood. Short ball away. Sorensen through 1. Now caught on halfway. He'll play it on the last after the tackle from Butcher. That's Nat. Comes to the right. Cleary puts in the kick. Down to the left wing of Tupou. He takes it comfortably. 11 out from his own goal line. Great chase by Penrith again. It was Kenny and Martin and one other Phillips. 22 out from the Roosters line with 3 minutes 40 left on the clock. The ball played, and it comes from Sam Walker. He feeds it left to Junior Ponga, and he's scored 26 out from his own line and 19 in from the western touch line. Played to Walker. Goes left to Crichton. Angus Crichton, a two-handed pass in the tackle away to Steep, and he's going to be claimed. 11 short of halfway. Roosters with it down by 20. Next it's Melbourne and Brisbane at Amy Park. Watson to the right. Jerry Evans cut out ball to Toya. Takes on Casey McLean. He held on to him with Talangi's help. Tackle made finally. A metre in Penrith's half. Ball played to Jerry Evans. Goes right to left. Walker sends it back on the inside, and that Butcher beats 1-2. Now he's going to get a one-hander away in the tackle as well to Robson. 31 out. Last tackle Roosters. Ball's going to be played to Watson. He goes short side right. Jerry Evans sends the kick high. Going back is Dylan Edwards. Now up he goes. Great catch, Dylan Edwards. 6 out from his own line. 2 minutes 45 to go in the half. Penrith 24, Roosters 4 as it comes left to McLean. He'll play at 15 out from his own line. Let's check in on the touchline. Johnny Gibbs.
Oh, they just don't make any errors, do they? It was as if that first try conceded by Casey McLean, missing Robert Toya, just sharpened their focus. Just to put it into perspective, Andrew, the last 13 games, and I'm going to give this one to them already. I'm not going to gaslight you into GSB, but wow. And here's a kick from Nathan Cleary. They're chasing
It's To'o against Tupou. Tupou bends down, picks it up calmly enough on his 20, sends the pass right to Tedesco, darts across field left to right, nailed 18 out from his own line by Papali'i. Sorry, Jonty.
What I was going to say is that's 13 consecutive games in which they've scored 20-plus points against the Roosters. 13 consecutive. Previously, the poorest for the Roosters was 7, and that's only happened on a couple of occasions. So they are owned, literally, by the Panthers.
Yeah, it's quite something, isn't it? Some teams just totally dominate the other. Walker away, right to left. Tedesco got it to Junior Ponga. Straight past Alamotti, over the 30, puts in a stab kick, bounces off the derriere of Dylan Edwards, who retrieves it 5 out from his own line. Great reaction from Edwards. He plays the ball with 90 seconds left in the half. Now Alamotti, he's taken 11 out from his own goal line. It's great work there by Ponga. Ball played to Cleary, goes left to Brian To'o. And he's going to be claimed on his own 20-metre line. Penrith 24, Sydney Roosters 4. Now right to left they go. Jenkins was in the middle of the park. Now comes Talangi. Terrible pass back to Cleary. He gets nailed. 15 out from his own line by Wong. Now played to Edwards. Goes left to Talangi. Juggles it. Falls on it. 25 out from his own line. Last tackle inside the last minute. They need a big kick here from Cleary. Just outside his 20. It's shallow and it's end over end. He'll sit up here. 40 out from the Roosters. Line for Tedesco. Takes on Papali'i and put to the ground. 3 metres short of halfway. Yo was there as well. Played to Nwanga Nitawaze. Some of the Roosters taking a while to get back on side here. It comes left to Junior Ponga. Past Alamotti again, and it's a penalty for a high tackle coming in by To'o. So a penalty goes to the Roosters, their first of the night. Right on halfway, 15 in from the western touchline, inside the last 30 seconds of the half.
Yeah, that was much in that again. It was just sort of slipping over there, but he does tap him on the chin a little bit with his forearm, but they're only going to get 2 plays here, the Roosters.
20 seconds to go. They find touch 30 out from the Penrith line. Tap will be taken by Ponga. Goes to his right to Walker. Setterfield and Nat Butcher. 10 seconds left. He's claimed 28 metres out. Play to Robson. Goes right, Cherry Evans. Turns it back into Watson to Tedesco. Flick pass back to Cherry Evans. They work the ball away right now. And the tackle made on Wong. 19 out from the Penrith line. And Penrith goes into half-time with a commanding 24 points to 4 lead over the Sydney Roosters here at the Sydney Football Stadium. For the Panthers, tries to Tom Jenkins in the 16th minute. And then what about this 7-minute run? Brian To'o scored in the 21st, Dylan Edwards in the 23rd, and Tom Jenkins another try in the 28th minute. Nathan Cleary, 4 goals from 5 attempts, 3 restarts. For the Roosters, they open the scoring with a try to Rob Toya in the 5th minute. Sam Walker none from 1, an unsuccessful challenge, and 4 restarts. The penalty count, 3-1 to the Panthers, but this is one-way traffic, Luke Lewis, at half-time. Penrith 24, Roosters 4.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all one-way traffic. The Panthers have been absolutely brilliant after the first 15 minutes. Took them a little bit of time to find their feet. They got a bit of a wake-up call getting the first try score against them. They've only had 2 tries scored against them in the opening part of this season so far, and they would have been disappointed with that. But their skill on the outside, especially on that left-hand side, really, really good. Brian To'o's kick for a kick, that was the best I've seen for a long time. So brilliant skill there from Brian To'o, and the Panthers just dominating field position once again. They're missing a few tackles. There's been a few opportunities for the Roosters, but the scramble defence from the Panthers just been too good.
Gibbsy, that was a clinic, wasn't it? After the Roosters were off to such a good start, Penrith, it was a real muscle flex, wasn't it?
It was indeed. And as I said a little bit earlier, I think missing and conceding that first try, which is the first points they conceded in 4 games, going back in the first half, going back a couple last year and a couple this year. So that sort of shocked them, sharpened their focus, and boy, didn't they go on a run. Some of the football was fantastic, but in between that, as Louis said, then you've had some misses. James Tedesco's come up with a couple of great breaks. Nwanga Nitawaze also, and then threw the ball away. Junior Ponga, that was a great run of his, a great palm on Alamotti, but then he just came up with a pretty ordinary kick straight into Dylan Edwards. So they've had opportunities, but look, they just recover so quickly. And Louis, you mentioned the fact that their attack down that right side inside defensive of the Roosters. Well, they didn't have to go far to plan that, because they've missed the most tries down that side all year, the Roosters, and the most tries scored has been the left side for Penrith. So it's all gone according to Hoyle. This has been, as you said, Andrew, a clinic.
All right, thank you, John. I did have a question here about humidity and whether that factors into the Beaufort scale.
No, the Beaufort scale is all wind.
All wind. All right. Thank you very much, John T. Half-time, 24-4. Penrith leading the Sydney Roosters with Luke Lewis, John Gibbs. I'm Andrew Moore, NRL Friday on ABC Sport. Let's head right now to the ABC Newsroom.
ABC News, I'm Sam Wilkinson. Queensland's Premier says Cyclone Narelle threaded the needle between populated areas when it hit eastern Cape York this morning. But communities in the west are now alert, as Joshua McIntosh reports.
Cyclone Narelle made landfall near Cohen at Category 4 before dropping to Level 3. It brought down trees and power lines, but there have been no reports of major damage or injuries at this stage. Premier David Crisafulli says it's incredibly good news, but there's still concern for communities on the Western Cape.
That area will experience strong winds. They're already starting to get an uptake on that, and there is some considerable rainfall that has started to fall.
Emma Oliveri from Ergon Energy says conditions need to ease before repairs can begin.
It will take time to be able to get crews in on the ground.
The system will move into the Gulf of Carpentaria tonight.
And the Weather Bureau has just put out its latest cyclone update. Narelle is now a Category 2 system. Senior forecaster Matthew Colopy says the cyclone could dump up to 0.5 metre of rain in some places on Cape York over the next day or so.
It is the next 24 hours that we're still concerned about. We're likely to see more falls in excess of 200 millimetres, stretching up to Cape from Ingham north. And those falls may increase to 500 millimetres close to the system as it tracks off the west coast.
On the eve of the South Australian election, it's Labor that's expected to win in a landslide, but all eyes are on One Nation as the party faces a major electoral test. Here's state political reporter Catherine Birmingham.
In the last days of this campaign, Labor and the Liberals have pivoted to focus on the threat posed by One Nation, which has been surging in the polls in SA and across the country. It's a sign the major parties are treating the threat seriously, with polling projecting One Nation will finish second on primary votes above the Liberals. Today, on the last day of campaigning, Premier Peter Malinauskas and Opposition Leader Ashton Hearn urged voters not to support One Nation. One Nation leaders Pauline Hanson and Corey Bernardi have been at polling centres this week, but declined an interview with the ABC today.
And One Nation is distancing itself from a South Australian candidate who has a warrant for his arrest in the United Kingdom. The party's candidate for Adelaide, Aoe Baxter, was charged with sexually touching a woman without consent, with British authorities confirming an arrest warrant has been issued due to his failure to attend court. One Nation says it was made aware of the allegations today and the matter had not been disclosed to it by Mr Baxter. The party has since deleted his candidate page from its website. Mr Baxter has been contacted for comment. The Shadow Resources Minister Susan McDonald says Australians are right to express their disappointment after the Prime Minister was booed at a mosque in Western Sydney. Anthony Albanese and Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke were visiting Lakemba Mosque when a group of men stood up and heckled.
A safe place for democracy in Australia. We should absolutely encourage and support that. But Australians are right to express their disappointment and their disapproval, and I guess that's what they're doing.
Kuwait's state oil firm, KPC, says its Mina al-Ahmadi refinery has been hit by multiple Iranian drone attacks. The incident caused a fire in some units and several units are shut down as a precaution to ensure workers' safety. It comes as Kuwait marks Eid al-Fitr, the celebration marking the end of the holy Muslim fasting month of Ramadan. Firefighters responded immediately. No casualties have been reported. The Albanese government is quietly exploring options to impose a new windfall tax on gas companies as they rake in profits from soaring energy prices during the war in the Middle East. Political reporter Sarah Tomevska has more.
The Treasurer Jim Chalmers hasn't specifically responded to questions about this modelling, but we know he's made it very clear he is looking at tax reform. The Energy Minister Chris Bowen was asked about this today. He said that, look, it's clear that the Treasurer has tax reform on the agenda, but was trying to be a little bit circumspect. He certainly didn't rule it out. So look, modelling of, various options by Treasury is pretty normal this time of year ahead of the budget in May.
And South Sydney suffered a major injury blow with starback Campbell Graham to miss tomorrow night's NRL clash with West's Tigers with a shoulder problem. You're up to date with the latest ABC News.
Who will win the AI race? Has gambling become our national sport?
Questions. They've never been more important. So the one thing we'll never question is our duty to keep asking. ABC News. Keep asking.
ABC sports coverage of the 2026 NRL Premiership.
Out to the left, Walker, switch of play back to the right, Tedesco. Drifts across field, got the pass away, Toya. Straight pass, one dreadful attempt by Paul Alamoni, and he's in to score. Rob Toya the try, half a metre out. Last tackle, Penrith, Kenny. Goes short side left to Jenkins, and he gets straight past the Wanganita Waze to score. They just kept going, poof, away to the short side, poof, away to the short side, and a paid off on the last tackle. Tom Jenkins scores for the Panthers. Kenny goes right to Cleary. Don't mean to kick, they run it. It goes right Leotta to Martin. Alamotti, and no look at good hands from Brian To'o. Puts in a little stab kick. He regathers it, puts it on the toe again. He regathers it. Get out of here! Brian To'o scores an unbelievable try. Long ball goes right, Leotta away. Liam Martin away to Alamotti. Got straight past Ponga. He's over the 30, over the 40. He's got back up in Cleary. He links up with Cleary, juggles it. Back to Dylan Edwards. And Dylan Edwards, who might now be the best backer upper in rugby league. He's over to score between the sticks. What a try, Penrith. Goes left to Yo to Cleary. Then got the pass. Quite quick hands to Lungy McQueen to Jenkins. It's a double for Milky. Tom Jenkins scores a try for Penrith. Penrith's in a mood.
ABC sports coverage of the 2026 NRL Premiership.
Yeah, very impressive from the Panthers to lead 24-4 over the Sydney Roosters at halftime. Let's go around the grounds and set the scene at Amy Park in Melbourne for the grand final rematch, Melbourne against Brisbane. Brett Sprigg to call the action with Ryan Hoffman and Ian Cohen. Good evening again, Spriggy.
Yeah, the stakes aren't quite as high as the last time they met, Maury, but there's no mistaking the pressure on the Brisbane Broncos through this opening fortnight in which they've let in 66 points in their losses to Penrith and Parramatta. It's been certainly a shaky start to their premiership defence, and it's not going to get any easier tonight. To come to Melbourne and face the as-yet unbeaten Storm, they have the reverse form line, and look, their team is far from the best version of itself, but you just look at things like Saw Falongo at fullback. We've known he's been a good player for a while, but he's just seamlessly taken that number one jersey and is just one highlight that Craig Bellamy has experienced at a typically successful start to another season. The team news is confirmed. We know that Adam Reynolds is not playing for Brisbane due to that rib cartilage injury. Ben Hunt, the start halfback in jersey number 14. Blake Moser joins the bench. So it's Moser and Dozer that could lead that spine tonight. The first time that Ben Hunt will link up with young Blake Moser, who missed all of last year through a shoulder injury. Grant Anderson will make his first appearance for the Broncos, which just happens to be against his old side. In the update last night for Melbourne, Lasati came out of the back row due to a calf injury he suffered through the week. So Alec McDonald comes in, will start in the back row himself, returning from concussion. Alec McDonald. Trent Liero is back for the Storm. The last time we saw him was in that grand final getting sin bin, and he subsequently served his 2-game suspension and makes his return tonight. I mentioned in my cross earlier that the grudge match nature of this contest. Reece Walsh trying to rile up Stefano Yatoikamano on social media in reference to when he called them stuck up in the build-up to last year's decider But as I welcome in a man who has won premierships and played in a lot of grand final rematches, Ryan Hoffman. Welcome, Hoffy. How would you describe the nature of a grand final rematch and the most recent memories that these teams would have?
Yeah, Dougie. Look, I played in the last time these two teams had a grand final rematch after the Brisbane Broncos won, and it was a very big encounter up there at Suncorp, and I'm expecting nothing different here in Melbourne. It's an absolute cracker night for football. Nice dry night, so I think we're going to see some good football from both teams. Look, they're polar opposites on how good form they are in. Broncos not good form. The Melbourne Storm are humming.
It is just an unbelievable day here in Melbourne, no less, and the crowd are coming in. As we welcome listeners joining us through local radio in Brisbane, Brett Sprigg and Ryan Hoffman here at Amy Park, and we'll get you back to Andrew Moore, Luke Lewis and John Gibbs at the Sydney Football Stadium very shortly for the Roosters and Penrith. But Hoffy, it is a grand final rematch. Melbourne have 12 players from the GF, Brisbane have 14. The man who was best of field that day in October. How much is Reece Walsh due for a big game?
He's very due for a big game, and especially he came under fire quite a bit last week against the Parramatta Eels for not injecting himself when his team needed. But if we go back to the grand final, that's exactly what he did. When his team needed it, he played the absolute game of his life and pretty much carried Brisbane on his back all the way to that premiership. I watched Craig Bellamy's press conference last week, and it was spoken about a grand final rematch, and Craig Bellamy put that to bed very quickly. He goes, if we win on Friday night, they're not going to give us a premiership again. So I think they parked that a long time ago. But I think there's always a bit of spice between Melbourne and Brisbane, just from Craig coming to the Storm from Brisbane, and also Michael Maguire having a long history there with Melbourne and doing great things last year with the Brisbane Broncos.
Although Bellamy is 14-3 against Michael Maguire, so there's always that sort of master and deputy which he has with a few players, a few coaches across this competition. And you mentioned that grand final 2006. The Broncos will wear a special replica jersey tonight to I guess celebrate that 20 years on. But there's no question that these sides have a bit of a grudge left over from last year's final series, and it is all to play for the 2-0 Storm, but also the 0-2 Broncos. Our ref will be Todd Smith, Chris Butler in the bunker, and we'll get things underway in about an hour's time here at Amy Park. Andrew, cannot wait.
Spriggy, to let you know when Moser takes the field, will be the report from Koza on the touchline there at Amy Park.
Oh, can't wait.
How good. All right, thanks, Spriggy. Thank you, Hoffy. And here, they're coming back to the second half. Penrith head to the southern end of the ground to our right with a 24-4 lead over the Sydney Roosters, who come onto the field now with Luke Lewis, the task very, very much ahead of them.
Yeah, big job in front of the Roosters now. What is it, 24 points to 4. It's a tough one. They're going to need a lot of calls go their way. They're going to execute every opportunity they get on the Panthers line. And I do believe, like we said before, I know they didn't score the try. They took the 2 points, but if Penrith score next, it's game over.
20-point lead against a team that's only conceded 2 tries in 2.5 games to start the season. It'll be Tedesco to kick off. They're running left to right as you look at your radio, the Roosters. And here we go, second half. Referee Atkins gets a nod from the floor director, Tony Chalmers, and away we go. Tedesco sent it deep into the in-goal area, caught by Talangi, about a metre in. He gives the pass away left to Billy Phillips, and the young forward's actually shoved backwards 5 metres out from the Penrith line. Roosters will be very determined to start this second half as they did the first. Now on the next play, it comes left to Papali'i, crash to the ground 11 metres out from his own line, 18 in from touch western side by Wong and Cherry Evans. Back open side right it goes. Sorensen's tackled, 17 out from his own line. Midway through the opening tackle count of this half. Talangi, cut out ball goes left to McLean. Dragged to the ground though by Toya and the Wanganita Waze. 30 out from the Penrith line, western side. Papali'i goes right, Talangi away to Yo. He's done a lot of that this evening so far, Isaiah. Right up the middle. Tackled here by Nat Butcher, bringing up the last. Kenny goes right, Cleary from his own 30. Kicks it right down the throat again of the Wanganita Waze. 23 out from his own line. He heads up over the 30 mark into Talangi and Papali'i and Sorensen. 32 out from the Roosters line. That's the first set gone in this second half, with Penrith 24 leading the Roosters 4. It's now the Roosters 13 short of halfway. Played by Toya. Comes centre field left, and that Butcher goes without a dive bomb by Penrith. 4 metres in Rooster territory. Isaiah Papali'i comes up with the lollies, plays the ball to Cleary, goes right to Edwards, then back on the inside to To'o, and Brian To'o tackled, 37 out from the Roosters goal line. What a chance presented to Penrith here by Nat Butcher. Kenny goes right to a strong running Martin, straight through Walker. Now claimed 24 out from the line, 18 in from the eastern touchline. Play to Kenny, goes right to left, through hand Joe to Cleary, then to Papali'i, but the defence is there. He hits the deck, 19 out from the Roosters line, 17 in from touch western side. Kenny sent it right to Cleary in centre field, drifts that way, links up with Dylan Edwards, a short ball away to Liam Martin, spins away from 1 or 2, and now he's going to be taken by Robson, 5 out from the goal line. What do we got here?
HIA.
Who's going?
Sorensen.
Liam. He's got to go to the HIA.
Just waiting to see who's heading out the back. I think you're right, Lou. I think it is Scott Sorensen, who had his birthday on Monday.
Just wait, I'll let him come on.
So he's off the field for the HIA 2 minutes into the second half.
That was when the ball come loose.
Oh, the tackle on the Roosters player who spilt at Nat Butcher. So Sorensen off, Moses Leota returns to the field for Penrith. We'll check in with Gibbs in a tick as well. But Penrith on the attack with 3 tackles up the sleeve, 5 metres out and a 24-4 lead. Kenny goes to the left. Phillips away from Yo to Leota. And Moses Leota's going to be taking a 3-man tackle, 4 metres out from the line in front of the left upright at the northern end. Play to Kenny, goes left to Cleary, plays to Talangi, juggled it. He's got hands like feet tonight, Talangi, but he finally clutches it to his chest, 8 metres out and gets tackled. Last tackle Penrith. Kenny goes right to Cleary. Up she goes. A cross-field kick down towards Junior Ponga. Oh, Penrith got there first, but the ball has been spilt and knocked on by Alamotti. So it's a Rooster changeover. 10 out from their own line. 2 minutes 40 gone second half. Penrith 24, Roosters 4. Down to you, Gibbsy.
Well, that's the first handling mistake in the game by the Panthers. I know that Blaze Talangi's gone close on a couple of occasions, but they had a perfect completion rate up until that one by Alamotti. Just confirmation, Scott Sorensen is officially Category 2, so he'll undergo an assessment.
All right, thank you, Gibbsy. As Penrith now defending the Roosters outside their 30. It comes right to Connor Watson in centre field. And he's wrapped up 11 short of halfway, midway through the tackle count. Papali'i was in there, played to Robson, goes left to Tedesco, short ball away to support on that left edge. Crichton's caught, a metre short of halfway. Now Robson, short side left away to Walker with the left foot step. The defence is there, he flicks one out the back door to Robson. They keep it alive to Crichton, he's caught, 40 out from the Penrith line. Last tackle now for the Roosters. Short side left, Robson to Walker. Up she goes. Dylan Edwards coming in after it. He's in heavy traffic. Great catch, Dylan Edwards again. 19 out for the Penrith line. Once again, Louis, he's having himself a game, Dylan Edwards.
Yeah, he is. He's getting under every ball. He's getting himself in the right position. That was again one-on-one. It was Tedesco up against Dylan Edwards, and he comes down with a great ball. Heap of pressure coming his way, that one.
So now Jenkins scored 32 out from his own line. Plays the ball. They work it away left edge to Talangi. He's caught 8 short of halfway. It's amazing. The first 2 games in terms of the ABC Player of the Year, only 3 players have got the points. And they've been split over 2 games. Edwards, Cleary and Yo. As now Edwards got a pass away. Ends up with Alamotti. He's straight through them over the 30. Puts a step on 20 metres out and he's felled. Great tackle, Tedesco, 19 out. Last tackle. They come to the left. Kenny to Cleary. Cut out ball to Lungy. Then he got it away to Papali'i. What a pass to Jenkins. Give the dude a third. Jenkins a try. Party trick pass from Papali'i. 4 minutes 40 gone second half. Penrith 28, Sydney Roosters 4. Kick to come. Louis, that was spectacular from Papali'i.
Yeah, Papali'i comes up with a beautiful pass, but what about the skill over on that right side? They get outside the Roosters. Paul Alamotti was showing a heap of speed, and he gets pulled down by Tedesco, but just a quick shift from one side of the field to the other. It was from Nathan Cleary to Blaze Talangi, and then Isaiah Papali'i, he just comes up with a perfect pass. I thought he was going to go short and through the hands to find Mason McLean, but he didn't. He just throws a cutout pass, hits Thomas Jenkins on the chest, and he goes over for his third.
That was a 10 out of 10. Touchline, John Gibbs.
Oh, magnificently executed once again. And it's a defence that's impressive. And they just turned defence into attack, though. And it started with a magnificent defusal of the bomb by Dylan Edwards. And you mentioned those three players. Well, they're right in the thick of it again. They make the big decision for their side, and the others are just on the fringes, and they take advantage. And that, what about Milky Jenkins? I mean, he got dropped last year, and, you know, he could have been playing in big games. He took it on the chin, knew what he had to do better, and he has scored now 20 tries in his last 18 games.
Wow. Wasn't he at Newcastle this time last year?
No, that was the year before.
The year before,
He came back, but he came back, Andrew.
Right.
I think he was playing with St Mary's or Windsor. You know, like just to give himself a chance. He wasn't fitting in. He couldn't score for love nor money up there in Newcastle. I don't think Ken Irvine and Alex Johnson could have scored, though, the way they were going. But nevertheless, he's come here and he scores tries for fun. And he's just taking advantage of what those key players do.
Here's Cleary right on the Western touchline. We'll get your text shortly, 0467 920 222. We'll begin updating scores around the grounds as well on this Friday night here on ABC Local Radio and ABC Listen, the app, everything else. Here's Cleary. 28-4 to Penrith. Moves in. He's kicked 4 from 5. That's a shocker. Right across the face. No goal. 4 from 6 now to Nathan Cleary. Penrith on the back of 5 tries lead the Sydney Roosters 28 points to 4. Now in the A-League women first half, Sydney FC has scored early to lead Wellington Phoenix 1-0. Full-time Super Rugby, Wellington Hurricanes have thrashed the Otago Highlanders 50-7. And text 0467 920 222. David from Randwick said, who's playing Penrith in the grand final? Another says, call it, Andrew. How long we got?
33 minutes.
33 minutes, 50 seconds to go. Here's the kickoff from Tedesco. Contemplating. Taken in goal. And Moses Leota with the return. Tackled 11 metres out from his own line. He'll play 20 in from the Western touchline after the tackle from Egan Butcher. Comes centre field right to Billy Phillips. And he's tackled 17 out from his own line. And move back on the mark. He had to move back about 3/4 of a millimetre. Comes away to Isaiah Papali'i. Steps away from a couple. Isn't this bloke playing good footy too? Papali'i tackled 25 out from his own line. He plays it now to Kenny. Goes right to Liam Martin. He's wrapped up 33 out from the Penrith line. 4 tackles into the set. Kenny. Open side left to Yo. Yo on the angled run into Watson. And also in there for the Roosters was Steep. 6 short of halfway. Last play Penrith. Kenny goes right to Cleary, kicks it downfield, heading over into Tupou. He catches it, 6 out from his own line, heads over the 10 towards the 20, and Daniel Tupou will be caught 25 metres out from his own line. Also on the text line, 0467 920 222. Rowdy Andy says, bar injuries this year, Penrith look unbeatable. Mitch says 8 tries in 4 games, Jonty. As now it comes away to the Roosters' right edge. They have it 10 short of halfway, trailing 28-4 with 32 and a half to go. Wong plays it, comes to Cherry Evans, turns it back on the inside to Nat Butcher. Tackle 4 short of halfway. Robson goes to his right to Cherry Evans, takes on the line. Beautiful pass back to Robson. A one-hander back to Walker, but he went without it. And then Cleary kicks it from foot to chest. Got a pass along the ground back to McLean. Then they're just showing off now. Comes to the right to To'o, and he scored 12 short of halfway.
Yes, that was a bit showing off. That was unbelievable. He's just on the ground. He goes, I can't be bothered bending over and picking up, so he just picks it up with his foot. That is brilliant.
So now Alamotti, 7 short of halfway. Played to Kenny, goes left to Edwards. Wrapped up on the halfway paint. Penrith with it with a 28-4 lead. 8 minutes 30 gone second half. Kenny goes right to Leota. Wrapped up 9 metres in Roosters territory. Kenny scoots it, comes back to the left. Poor pass, but half volleyed by Yo. And then he in the tackle offloads back to Talangi. He sends it into Papali'i. And finally he straightens and wrapped up. 34 out from the Roosters line. 2 tackles left for the Pink Panthers. Kenny fires it left away to Talangi's caught. 26 out from the goal line, last tackle. Penrith, 9 metres in from the western touchline. Kenny, open side right to Cleary. Up she goes. Again it's shallow. Tedesco. The ball is loose on the deck and Tedesco dived on it. It's a knock on Penrith. Tedesco dived on it 8 out from his own line, so they'll get 2 metres further upfield. Change over Roosters right on their own 10. 9 gone second half. Penrith 28, Roosters 4.
There's a couple of things I'm not seeing the Panthers. You got Nathan Cleary caught for it 3 times and he wanted on the right, but Mitch Kenny just kept ignoring him going left, which was interesting. But they had a really nice play set up, and I reckon they had him shot for numbers. They just missed that jump, but they are looking dangerous.
So Leslie Fekete on the field now for the Roosters, and he's going to be caught 12 short of halfway. 28-4 to Penrith. Dummy half Robson, short ball right in Fahu White. Ran through Mitch Kenny, who comes back at him with Liotta. Right on halfway. Roosters with it. What do you think, Louis? Here's Tedesco. Got the pass away to Egan Butcher. He links up further out wide. And that's Junior Ponga bustling through one. Now caught 33 out from the goal line. 10 in from the eastern touchline on the last. Comes right to Walker. Runs at the defence from 30 out. Towering kick to Dylan Edwards again. Up they go. Ball tapped by Tedesco. And then straight it comes to the Panthers. 12 metres out from their own line. And diving on the bouncing ball for Penrith was Casey McLean. We go to the touchline. Johnny Gibbs.
When you look at a lot of these statistics in this game, they're fairly even. But what has happened is the completion rate by Penrith has been far superior, and there's a penalty. They give away a penalty, so they'll get good field position comfortably now, Penrith. But what they do, Penrith, is when they get a half chance, they turn into a full chance. They score. Whereas the Roosters have had half chances, and nothing's come of it apart from that one-on-one missed by Casey McLean when Robert Toyer beat him at the start of the game.
Yeah, there's nothing that's a halfer for Penrith. Here's Cleary finding touch, 15 short of halfway. Morris from Fairfield, thank you very much for your text. Tracy from Gympie is at GSB now. I think it is Trace, but I'll just wait for a moment. 29 minutes to go. Penrith 28, Roosters 4 as they spread it to the right. Liotta, he's going to be taken. Good run though. Felled 3 short of halfway by Nafahu White and Angus Crichton. Played to Kenny. Goes left to Yo. Plays out the back this time. Cleary, Papali'i Talangi. He lost the ball fairly. Picked up now by Nwangani Tawaze. One-hander away Tedesco. And then it goes through the hands of Sam Walker. But first knocked on by Talangi, who really is struggling with his hands.
How's that not advantage played on? It's like they've gone 40 metres across the other side of the field.
I agree with you, Louis, but that's standard. They just don't rule that to be advantage completed. They haven't, I don't think, forever. I know what you're saying, though. It'll be a Roosters scrum feed, 10 metres short of halfway. 28-4, Penrith over the Roosters. And also on the text line, no way Panthers can bring that energy in the second half. Surely, says Mitch in the Highlands. Well, they certainly are. The problem for Walsh is that there's someone as explosive as him finally getting a proper crack at the NRL. No offence to Paps, but Sua should have been in there earlier. Sua Failongo. And James and Bendigo says, after a tough week, you're putting a smile on my dial, Andrew Attal. That try was awesome. Sure was, James. I'm sorry about a tough week, mate. Here the Roosters on halfway. Bit of light push and shove there on Crichton. Kenny was involved, and Yohan in the end, it's Crichton told to go back a metre as he plays it to Robson. Goes right now to Fekete. Tackle 5 metres in Penrith territory. 12 minutes, 30 gone second half. Penrith 28, Roosters 4. Watson right to left through hands. Walker to Tedesco, but he's taken 33 away from the Panthers goal line. 10 in from the eastern touchline. Played to Junior Ponga. Goes open side right. And now a dummying run here at the defensive line from Watson. Caught 29 metres away. He'll play the ball and it comes to the right side. Cherry Evans away to Siwa Wong. McLean, one of 4 Penrith defenders, and a penalty against Penrith late in the tackle count. And he's ruling up above shoulder height in the tackle. So the penalty count now 4-2 in favour of Penrith. And this one's 13 metres out, 14 in from the western touchline. They'll take the tap here through Robson.
Do they score here, Andrew?
In this set? No, I'm going to back Penrith.
It's on report too.
Isaiah, you're on report there.
So Isaiah Yo on report in the 54th minute. What say you about the tries? They take the tap and they're 5 metres out.
I'm going to back Penrith defence.
Oh, we're both on the same page. But play one, they're only a metre out. Play to Robson for the Roosters. Goes left to Walker. Then back on the inside for Kenny. He's tackled 3 metres out from the goal line by Leota in front of the right upright. Robson dummy half. Fires it away left to Walker. Walker at the line offloads. Quick hands Tedesco away. And it's a set restart here for the Roosters as well. Surely they must score. 2 metres out. 3 metres in the southeast corner. It's played to Ponga. Goes to the right Tedesco. Drifts across field. Links up with support. And now an inside ball off Walker for Fichetti. Tackled 10 out from the Panthers line. Played to Robson. Comes to his right. Walker away to Nafahu. White through one. Tackled now 2 metres out from the goal line by Yo and Talangi. Robson dummy half. Puts in a stab kick. Gee, I thought that Roosters chaser was well offside Connor Watson. It's grounded in goal anyway by Jenkins. And we're going to the bunker just to check on things. To see where the restart will be after 14 minutes and 36 seconds of the second half.
Connor Watson, and then the lack of grounding here by Sam Walker.
Well, Connor knew he couldn't get involved. He just pulled straight out.
Yeah.
But he's inside. It'd be inside.
Connor Watson is offside on the kick chase, just monitoring where he gets to and his impact.
It's White Raymond in the bunker.
He thinks about it. Look at that. He goes, oh no, I've got to stop. I can't go to it.
Because he was like...
Connor Watson now becomes active in the play advancing towards the ball, which impacts any defender. We have a decision.
Connor needed to pull out early. He did take a few paces towards the ball. But he did remain engaged for a little too long. So it's a penalty to Penrith. Penalty's now 5-2 to the Panthers. We're checking with Gibbsy on the touchline.
Yeah, Isaiah Yo's getting a well-deserved rest. He come on some big defence there. They're impregnable, this Panthers defence, particularly close to the line. That just suits them fine. Although Reece Robson are kicking behind, at least that was something different because that's effectively your only chance close to the line against the Panthers.
Scott Sorensen has returned to the field as well now for Penrith. And looks like Billy Phillips getting a breather. Lindsay Smith has come on for Yo. And Sorensen back from the HIA on for Phillips. Penrith 32 out from their own line on play 2. Setterfield Smith plays the ball. It comes from Kenny away right to Leota. Runs into the defence there of Crichton and Wong. 10 short of halfway. Kenny sends the ball left to Sorensen up the middle. And into White, Watson, and also for Kenny he goes on halfway. Played to Kenny. Penrith up 28-4. Goes right to Smith. Lindsay Smith tackled 7 metres in Roosters territory. Last tackle Penrith. To the right, Cleary. The kick from 43 metres out. The northeast corner, Tupou. The chase being led here by the Penrith setter Alamotti, but taken well by Tupou. He's claimed 19 out from his own line. 28-4. Penrith leading the Roosters. NRL Friday here on ABC Local Radio and ABC Sport with Luke Lewis, John Gibbs. I'm Andrew Moore, and coming up next, it's Melbourne and Brisbane at Amy Park with Brett Sprigg, Ryan Hoffman and Ian Cohen. Right through until 10:30 Australian Eastern Daylight Time as Crichton hits it up in centre field. He's going to be taken 7 metres short of halfway. Ball played. Out of dummy half goes Robson. He gets 2 metres in Penrith territory. Penrith led this 24-4 at half-time. And now lead 28-4. Walker puts boot the ball on the last. Down to Dylan Edwards again. Up they go. Ricochets back to Penrith. And it looks like Luke Garner out there now with the ricochet. Play on, says referee Atkins, and Garner will play it. Standing in the tackle. 23 out from his own goal line. As now they work it from right to left, the Panthers. Centre field. Tackle made here. 29 out. 31-32 out from the Penrith line. Brian those legs just keep carrying him. Plays the ball now to Dylan Edwards. He sets sail from dummy half. Great run. Put down a metre short of halfway. And a quick play the ball to Kenny. Roosters all offside. Goes left to Lungy. Cut out ball to Papali'i, currently standing at left centre. And he's nailed 9 metres in Roosters territory. 5 in from the western touchline by Toya and Cherry Evans. Played to McLean. Goes right to Lungy. He runs straight into the defence. 33 out from the line. Last tackle Penrith. Kenny's at dummy half. Goes right to Cleary from 33 metres out. High kick towards Nwanganita Waze. He catches it. And then there to greet him immediately was Casey McLean. 10 metres out from the Roosters line, and also Scott Sorensen. Now they work it left to Toya. He's caught 17 out from his own line. 22 and a half left. Luke Lewis. Penrith 28. Sydney Roosters 4.
Yeah, I'm looking at the body language of the Roosters at the moment. They're looking a bit tired. They're sort of pretty bunched. There's not a whole lot going on. So it's important they get through these sets. They can't afford an error.
Tedesco. Bing, bing, Louis. Sorry, taken by Lindsay Smith. 7 short of halfway. He plays the ball now to Watson. Goes left to White. Fahu White throws a one-hander back to Walker on halfway. He dummies his way over into Penrith territory and a one-hander back to Feketi. He links up with Tupou, got the ball on the inside and they drop the ball again, the Roosters. Scooped up by Sorensen for Penrith and they have it 34 out from their own line. Now the ball played for the Panthers to Smith. Goes left away to Edwards. Stands in the tackle, offloads to Papali'i. Quick hands to Talangi. He's dirty on passing the footy, blows Talangi, and he takes the tackle here. 10 short of halfway. Played to Kenny, short side left it goes to Jenkins. The scorer of 3 tries so far tonight. There's still more than a quarter of the game to go. Kenny, open side right to Papali'i, angled run, caught 5 metres in Roosters territory, plays it to Kenny. Long pass goes right, centre field to Smith, links up with Cleary, holds it up, dummy, takes him on himself, beats one. Well, he got a wonderful wraparound pass as well, Alamotti, dragged down 22 out. He'll play the ball quickly to Edwards. He goes left again to Nathan Cleary. Long pass. It's off the boot of McLean. Goes back for it. It wasn't a good pass from Cleary, albeit long. McLean accelerates. Tackled 18 out. Last play Penrith, who have this 28-4 lead. Kenny, short side left to Cleary. They run it away to Talangi. Beats one. Tackled short of the line. Again, he had players on his outside, but he just refuses to pass the footy. 19 gone. 28-4 Panthers. We go to the touchline. Johnny Gibbs.
Well, that was spectacular. They almost scored another try. I'm loving the sleight of hand from Nathan Cleary tonight, whether it be running, passing or kicking. He's looking one way and doing something else. And just previous to that little bit of soccer skill, maybe he's trying to impress Barry Fowler ahead of tomorrow night's Matildas match in the Asian Cup final against Japan.
I reckon it might have. John T is Tupou. Plays the ball to Robson for the Sydney Roosters. Sends it left to Feketi. He's claimed 27 out from his own line on play 3. Penrith 28, Roosters 4. Now it goes left to right. Watson to Walker. Cut out pass to juggling the Wangani to Waze. One-handed pass. Back to Toya over halfway. He beats Sorensen. Spins in the tackle into Talangi and now he's nailed by Jenkins. About 34 out from the line. Or was it Edwards? It was Dylan Edwards. What a play from him. Robson goes left to Walker. They've got numbers to the left. Floats a Harbour Bridge pass away. Junior Ponga passes brilliantly knocked down by Penrith Brian To'o. It will be a knock on Penrith, but To'o reckon saved the day. 20 minutes gone, 20 minutes left, second half. Penrith 28, Roosters 4, but the Roosters will get a scrum feed 30 out from the Penrith line. On the text line, 0467 920 222. To'o tried the year so far, hard to beat, I reckon. And you can keep them coming, 0467 920 222. Again until 10:30 tonight. Thank you, Matt Eisenhuth. A great service to the Tigers and the Rip. They don't make them like that anymore. Yeah, announcing his retirement after 148 NRL 140-odd NRL games with West Tigers and Penrith Panthers. 145, I think, the final tally. As Roosters send it to the right from the scrum win, and Cherry Evans has scored 26 out. Set restart too slow on the play of the ball, Penrith, and it was Casey McLean. That is the 6th set restart for the Roosters. Now they're only 10 metres out. Louis, do Penrith hold on here or do the Roosters score?
Oh, I'm going to say hold on. I feel like the Roosters look too tired to attack.
Robson goes left to Walker. Back on the inside, Nafahu White looking to stand and deliver. He stands, but he can't deliver. Smith, Leota and Sorensen were there. Now a short ball comes left for the line for Kenny. Spins in the tackle as he held up. He is. Held up in goal. He'll go back and play it 10 metres out. With 18 minutes, 21 left. And Penrith leading 28-4.
How good are they? They just keep turning up. They keep getting their body in the right position. They just kept stopping tries. Tries stopped are just as important as tries scored. So
now
they're brilliant.
Do some math on the run here, Louis. They've played 160, 200, 221 and a half minutes, conceding only 2 tries. But here's Connor Watson for the goal line. He's held up and will go back and play it 10 metres out.
So they're even that smart. They let him go over the line.
Yeah, well, I'd just say
so they can get back. Well, just they can get a little bit of a break too. It's not a quick play the ball.
It's something, that's for sure. Still only 2 tackles left now. Watson plays it to Robson. Goes left to Walker. He links up with support. And Feketi tackle 4 out. Last play, Roosters. Dummy half Reece Robson. Runs at the line and offloads to Sam Walker. He knocks it on. Penrith dive on it. I could have done this ages ago, Louis. But with 18 minutes left, game, set, Bingo! The Panthers are going to win as they get a penalty in the play. The ball 12 metres out from their own line. Penalty 6-2 to the Panthers. And the Roosters, Louis, are that exhausted they don't even have enough energy to argue these referee decisions anymore.
No, they were cooked. You could see it in the last set. They didn't really even have the energy to pull off the ball and run onto the ball. So, yeah, it was going to be hard for them to score there. Penrith are just superior fit. They keep turning up. They're hard to beat and hard to score against even when you're ready to rock and roll and you've got everything going your way. But I reckon you could have said those famous words at half-time. That's how good Penrith are in defence.
Here's Leota now with a hit up, and he's taken 11 short of halfway on play 2. Looks like it's all tutus and tiaras from the Roosters tonight. Come on, boys, says Mandy from Grafton. A disappointed Roosters. Ken still enjoying the call, though, boys. Thanks, Mandy. Yeah, sorry your team's struggling tonight as now the Panthers go to the right, but they've been panthered. Taking the tackle, 4 metres inside Roosters territory is Martin. Plays it to Kenny, goes left to Cleary to Smith. Then away to Lungy, to Luke Garner. Garner runs straight through almost Cherry Evans. Finally put to the ground, 30 out for the Roosters line. Last tackle, Penrith. Dummy half Kenny. Goes right, Cleary. The kick is cross field. Looking for Tom. Oh, he got his hands to it, but he's so close to that eastern touch line and a bounce over. So it's going to be a change over to the Roosters. 10 out for their own line. 16 minutes 30 left to play. Penrith 28, Roosters 4. He attempted, John Gibbs, the most difficult of kicks off the outside of his boot, quite deliberately, Cleary. Toll got his fingertips to it, but maybe a fraction wide the kick.
Yeah, no doubt about that, but it was clever, and as I said earlier, he's been digging deep into his bag of tricks, and I think Cleary Toll just wasn't able to get his hands on it. Not only have they physically destroyed the Roosters, the Panthers, but they've also psychologically tortured them. Seriously, they are bereft of ideas. They've tried really hard. They came here to play, but it's just been taken all away from them.
Here's Nawonga Nidawaze, tackled 29 out from his own line. Plays the ball, Robson goes left to Fahu White. He's caught 10 metres short of halfway. Roosters with it, Walker, quick hands, Tedesco. He got the pass away to Angus Crichton. Stands in the tackle of Cleary and Martin and will play it 40 out from the Penrith line on the last. Comes right to Walker. Puts up the high ball. Dylan Edwards, who's been excellent against Tedesco. Tedesco knocks it back. And Moses Leota is there minding his own business. Picked it up. Gave it away to Jenkins or Garner. Over halfway, Jenkins. He's looking for a fourth. He streaks past them. He's over. He scores another one. 32 points to 4 to Penrith. Tom Jenkins gets a fourth. 15 minutes still to play, and Moses Leota was standing around minding his own business. From the high kick, Tedesco knocked it back. Moses said, oi, picked it up, gave it to Jenkins, and he streaked away to score. Penrith 32, Roosters 4, quarter of an hour to go.
Yeah, there was, it's amazing. You know, not much going on there. Tedesco goes up for it 1v1 against Dylan Edwards, and none of his Roosters mates are willing to jump on the ball. And then Moses Leota just picks it up, and there's flying Jenkins. Hits him on the chest, but I tell you what, it's not an easy thing to do, to trip over in the backfield, fully go onto the, almost go onto the ground, and then to be able to keep your wits about you, get up and get that speed back and keep going and score onto the post. So it's a great try there from the Panthers. Well done to Jenkins on 4 tries, and great work by the Panthers.
Let's go downstairs to the touchline. John Gibbs.
Well, what about the effect of Dylan Edwards? His bomb defusal has been so good, they now go up and they try and hit it back. They've done that about the last 3 goes. On this occasion, it was just a gift that went to Jenkins. As you say, Louis, he was stumbling and bumbling. I thought he was going to get there on his hands and knees for a while, but he got back into stride.
Here's Cleary in front, kicks the goal. It's now Penrith 34, Roosters 4, Jonty.
Yeah, 4 tries now. That's the most that any Panther has scored against the Roosters. Previously, it was 3 by Sunia Taruva, and 4 tries is the first time that's been accomplished by Tom Jenkins as well. That's his biggest haul ever.
Unreal. And you can't, it's one of those blokes you've got to cheer for.
There's still 13 minutes to go.
And there's still 13 minutes and 49 seconds to go. Around the grounds, women's A-League. It's 1-1 in the first half now between Sydney FC and Wellington Phoenix. On the text line, 0467 920 222. What is it with Tom Jenkins? Is it height, weight, fitness? What is it?
Oh, he's superior fit, but I tell you what, he's got this beautiful balance about him. When he runs, he looks like he's got a really nice balance. very hard to put to the ground.
Here's the kick downfield. Taken in the in-goal area by Talangi. He sends it right to Lindsay Smith. He scored 12 metres out from the Penrith line. So I think in terms of injury, the only player to come back is Liam Henry. And Isaac Tungor has been left out as he deals with a personal issue. 16 out from the Penrith line now. Comes left to right to Sorensen, centre of the park. He's going to be tackled 34 out from his own line. At this ground last year, Penrith won 40-12. Here they lead 34-4 with 13 to go. Now right up the middle they go, over the 40-metre line. It was a tremendous burst. It stops 4 metres short of halfway. And played by Martin. It comes to the left. Yo, quick hands to Lungy. A ball is on the ground and forward, says referee Atkins, as Casey McLean was streaking away. I gather that noise you made, Louis, was because you didn't think it was forward. I didn't either of it.
Yeah, I was sitting right in line with us. Like it did not look forward to me at all, but it was a touch judge that calls it. And just watching the replay again, I know you can't get much off the replay, but it's quick hands and it goes back behind.
No, I think it was touched by the Penrith player. It was.
Touched by the Penrith player?
Yeah. The part before it went to the recipient, might have been Garner. Got a hand to it and it instantly went
right.
up.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, 22,128 the crowd, 22,128. Because the pass was fine. It went backwards, but a Penrith player bending down low to try and catch it, even though it wasn't intended for him, did get a touch. So now the Roosters 34 out from the Penrith line. They led 4-0. They trail 34-4. Walker sends it left for Ketty. Tackled 30 out from the Penrith line and 20 in from touch on the eastern side. So Penrith will go 3-0. Set restart giving away the Panthers. Watch New Pussycat. And now Connor Watson, good run. He fights his way to within 18 of the goal line. The Roosters will be 1 win and 2 losses. Played to Robson. Dummy's right. Goes to his left. Tedesco. Easily away from Cleary. Now tackled 12 metres out from the Penrith line. 11 minutes 30 left. Robson goes right to Walker. Links up with Cherry Evans. Away to Wong. And Siwa's caught 10 out from the Penrith line. 12 in from touch. Southwest corner. Dummy half Robson. Ball goes left to Walker. Thought about a kick. Links up to his left instead. Connor Watson bustles his way to within 4 of the goal line. 2 tackles left for the Roosters. Robson goes to the right. Linked up with support. Collins tackled a metre out to Langy. Great tackle. Played. Comes to the right. Cherry Evans away. Ponga flicks it back. And it's been a dribbling knock on in the end. Wanganu Dewase couldn't pick it up. That'll be a change over to Penrith. 10 out from their own line with 11 left. Penrith 34. Sydney Roosters 4. 18 to Luke. I'm a Panther, but I'm predicting Teddy may get 1 point in a losing team, says Dave.
Dave, I'm sorry to say, but you're wrong tonight.
Especially down 34-4, I guess. Guys, this game between Penrith and the Roosters highlights how well the Sharkies played last week, says Kay from Cremorne. Well, they were beaten by 22, Sharkies, but it was a good game of footy, you're right. Here's Penrith now in centre field, and it's Garner tackled, 28 out from his own line. Plays the ball to Kenny. Dummies. Goes from dummy half inch. Kenny gets to within 11 of halfway. They scored 26 in their first match against Brisbane in Brisbane as penalties conceded in the tackle by Lindsay Collins. And the Panthers earned their 7th penalty of the night, 10 short of halfway, right in centre field. He had 26 blot over Brisbane. Then 26-6 last week over the Sharkies. And here 34-4 as Cleary finds touch 10 metres in Roosters territory.
I think he's going to go to 40 after this set. The Roosters are looking tired and the Panthers are looking like they've got something brewing.
Left to right to Lungy to Cleary, then away to support. And the tackle is made here. Is it Freddie Lussick on the field? He's tackled 35 out. It is Freddie Lussick. They go to the right edge now. Martin caught 26 out from the Roosters line. Plays the ball. Kenny spins it left to Cleary. Drifts across field. Dummies. Then gets it away to Talangi. Away to Garner. Luke Garner over the 20, but he's confronted and put to the ground by Toya. 14 out. 12 in from touch on the western side. Now to the right. Talangi to Smith. Quick ball back to Cleary. Then through hands it goes. Away and crawling and creeping his way through is Dylan Edwards. Can he get it down? Oh yeah, tell a man he can. Dylan Edwards scores for Penrith. He was on the deck. It was all knees and forearms and chest. And he's over to score. 9 minutes left. Penrith 38. Roosters 4. Of course they scored because Rainbow Bum Louie said they would. What a finish by Dylan Edwards, Luke.
Beautiful finish there by the Panthers, but you could just tell that something was brewing for the Panthers. The Roosters, they look so tired and fatigued, and you knew it was just going to come down to a simple missed tackle, but beautiful work, great skill. They come to the one side of the field, they go straight back to the other, everyone knowing their role, just going through the hands, not putting any of their teammates under any type of pressure, and all of a sudden, Dylan Edwards just sees an opportunity, just uses a bit of speed, goes into the right hole, and it's just a simple one-on-one miss there from Angus Crichton, and he rolls over and gets a great try for the Panthers.
Tell you what, Gibbsy, this is pure Penrith to me. They score early in the second half. Then nothing doing. They just stifle the opposition. And then their ability to go bang, bang with two quick tries like they've just done is so Penrith.
Yeah, it's brilliant to watch. And seriously, they've had, again, opportunities in the second half, the Roosters, but that goal line defence, that's what Penrith, that's what's been the hallmark of their success over the last few years. And it's been to the fore again. They're just too good. How good are they? Who's going to beat them?
Certainly not the Roosters this evening. 38-4, 7 minutes 47 to go. Cleary 16 out and 18 in from the eastern touchline. He's kicked 5 from 7. He strikes it, likes it, kicks the goal. He's 6th of the evening. 40 to 4.
I told you, it's going to be 40 to 4 in the next after the set.
7 minutes 43 to go. NRL Friday on ABC Sport.
Let's throw another little one out there though. Can Jenkins score one more before full time?
A fifth. What say you?
Oh, I know. Footy gods are telling me yes.
Are they?
Yeah. I'm going to back him in the next 7 minutes and 40 seconds to score one more try.
Are you in direct contact with the footy god?
Yeah, it's got a little message. Footy god.
The text line from Rabideau, from Rob Rabideau. Hey Andrew, is that game set bingo call on the season? Ooh. I think that's premature. Although, Louis, you called it before the season started. It's from the short kickoff. Roosters get the footy back 31 out. 7.5 left. Fiketti plays it. Comes right to Lindsay Collins. Bustles his way into Garner. Tackle made. 25 out from the Penrith line. Roosters scored in the 5th minute. Haven't really looked like it since. As here's a ball that goes loose on the ground. Picked up by Junior Ponga at left centre. And he scored 22 out from the Penrith line. 20 in from the eastern touchline. Played to Watson. Goes to his right. Walker, Cherry Evans, then to Tedesco. Good hands by Tedesco. Flicks the ball back. Half volley by Nwanganita-Waze. Hasn't been his night, Mark Nwanganita-Waze. Caught here by Jenkins. 24 out from the Penrith line. Now the left, Cherry Evans turns it into a... they do look tired, don't they? Siwa Wong caught 19 out. Last tackle, Roosters. Watson goes left to Cherry Evans. Passes it away to Walker. Crossfield kick for Tupou. It's Tupou against To'o. They fly through the air. The ball ends up on the ground, and we're going to go to the bunker.
We're going to have a look. We've got a no try. Why they got kicked on tackle 5. Okay, touched by Brian To'o, got a no try. Please review contest and any grounding.
Tuck shot with Source. Job with 6 minutes 31 left. 40 points to 4 to Penrith.
Body language from Daniel Tupou says no.
And he knows how to celebrate a try.
Cleared in the lead-up.
He scored a squillion of them. To'o against Tupou. It's a good leap by To'o.
Both players go up with 2 hands. This is a genuine contest.
No disruptor. I think To'o might have touched it first, Louis.
I'm just watching Daniel Tupou's eyes. Yeah, okay, he's looking straight at the ball.
Are they mesmerising?
No, they just...
The ball is knocked back by Penrith at this stage. We're playing on.
Comes off his head, doesn't
it? It does. It goes... I reckon it touched his hand onto his melon. And then the ball's off the hip of Tupou. And Alamotti, I think, will dive on it in goal. With a boot in a very unfortunate place.
Just need to determine if the ball touches Daniel Tupou's arm at any stage.
Certainly touched his side.
Well, it touched his buttocks there.
Is that your first buttocks of the season? And then Alamotti will dive. Oh, Tupou got his hand
And the ball's
out there.
grounded by Penrith in the in goal.
It was very close, actually, to being a try, but it's going to be a goal line dropout for Penrith.
About 50 cent piece out away from it.
50 cent piece?
That is the biggest coin.
I understand. Thank you for the mansplaining. 40 to 4 Penrith. 6 minutes 30 left in the half touchline. John Gibbs.
Yeah, it'd be a bit unusual. It's got a lot of edges on that coin, Louis. So that would make it more difficult. That was, well, I don't know what's going on here, but that was definitely just forced in goal by Alamoti. Good effort there by Tupou and also Doll.
Here's Cleary, drills a kick looking for the eastern touchline, but I think the Roosters may have been anticipating that, and they field it 40 metres out from the line through Walker. And now they work it up near the 30. 6 minutes 15 to go. 40 points to 4 to the Panthers, 7 tries to 1. As the Roosters are now in centre field, 26 metres out from the Penrith line. The ball played by Egan Butcher. Comes to the right. Cherry Evans away to Fichetti. Fichetti backs his way to within 17 metres of the goal line. Crowd here, what did we say? 22,000 plus here at the SFS. Cherry Evans goes right to left to Walker. Cut out ball Tedesco, puts it on the toe. Dylan Edwards is back there, juggled it, comes down with it, then gets absolutely nailed by Junior Ponga over the dead ball line. Another goal line drop our Panthers will give Cleary a chance to try something else with 5.5 to go.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Again, third tackles kick. Panthers don't care about defending their line. They're too good at it. And they're happy just to burn down the clock for a little bit, get some wind under their sail, and they'll turn it around, get the ball back, and Jenkins will score with a minute to go.
It's Cleary. He goes for that heavy one along the ground again, trying to force a knock on and nearly got it from Tupou. Bounced off his chest, but he's regathered it, puts a fend on, and he's going to be tackled there by Freddie Lussick, Lindsay Smith, Isaiah Yeo and Liam Martin. 21 out from the Penrith line. Around the grounds, first half of the rugby, Brumbies leading the Chiefs 7-0 at Canberra Stadium. AFL underway. Western Bulldogs kicked the first goal at Adelaide Oval to lead the Crows 7-0. Watson sends it left to Egan Butcher, stands and flicks it back to Cherry Evans. He takes on the line, then offloads away to his right to Toya. He scored 7 metres out. A-League women, Sydney FC and Wellington 1 all. And first half A-League men, the Wanderers and Adelaide United scoreless. Lost ball, Roosters. Penrith come away with it 9 out from their own line. Louis through Casey McLean.
Yeah, the Roosters, I don't know, they've really lost the plot in the last 5 minutes when it comes to tackling the line, but I'm putting that down to pure fatigue because they've done a lot of tackling, they've asked a lot of questions out there, and they just haven't been able to penetrate that defence of the Penrith Panthers. So there's got to be smart now. You wouldn't want to give away penalties and field position in these next 4 minutes left that's on the clock.
Well, it's all in the script that you've written, though, isn't it?
Yeah, correct.
As now Penrith go to the right side. Alamoti, he's been good. Tackled here, 35 out from his own line. Billy Phillips comes back on for Lindsay Smith for Penrith. Now they go left to Cleary. Cleary over the 40. Double cut-out pass.
Oh, it was on. Jenkins was unmarked.
Luke Garner clutched at it with 10 thumbs and knocked it on. It's a great bit of play from Cleary, but Garner wasn't up to it. Scrum feed for the Roosters, 3 metres in Penrith territory, and that was headed to the Milky Way with 3.5 to go. 40-4 to Penrith. As now it's the Roosters with a Toya. Tackled 38 out from the Penrith line. Now it's Watson at dummy half. He goes left away to Fichetti. Up the middle he goes into Lussick. And taken 29 out from the goal line. Centre field, southern end. Dummy half Watson goes left through hands. Walker to Desco. He got the pass away to support out wide. 19 metres out from the line. Now it's going to be played by Angus Crichton. To Ponga, comes to the right. Walker hands it off on the inside. Fichetti tackle, 14 out from the Penrith line. 2 tackles to go. Now Watson, he goes right to Sam Walker. Short ball Cherry Evans. Defence rushes at him. Got a ball away to Walker. Kicked it straight into a Penrith player. Knocked back by the Roosters. Dived on by Penrith. They're offside. So penalty goes to the Roosters. Touchline, Johnny Gibbs.
I think what they've got to do...
Don't have a restarted tackle count, mate.
Captain's challenge.
I've got a penalty for offside, picked up offside here by Billy. Penrith are changing it. Challenging it.
Yes. Hoping, Gibbsy, that they change it.
Yeah, exactly. And at least the kick has caused some uncertainty. That's the only look, apart from what happened at the start of the game, where Toya, bamboozled Casey McLean, his opposite, in a beautiful attacking move one-on-one. The only
just need to determine if Nathan Cleary makes
is
early
when he
contact on
kicked in
James
behind.
Tedesco.
Has to make early contacts. They're competing for the ball.
They were looking at Lussick's left hand.
They're just trying to clear that, Louis. What's the time? We've got a Spriggy game.
Nathan Cleary defends James Tedesco prior to him taking possession. Because the penalty is for a different reason, the challenge is successful.
So Penrith challenge it. They give away a different penalty, so it's challenge successful.
And they keep
Try
the
to
challenge.
explain that to the Martian who's just arrived here at the rules of rugby league. So either way, penalty Roosters. I think that's now 7-4 the penalties. It's 11 out in front, 2 minutes 30 to go. As Sam Walker gives the pass away left to Angus Crichton. Good strong run by Crichton. He's held up 2 metres out from the goal line by Liam Martin, who's been really good on his first game of the year, but he does give away a set restart. The 8th to the Roosters. Now comes Setterfield right to Lindsay Collins. He's put down on his back, 6 metres out from the Penrith line. Plays the ball to Watson. He comes to the right to Egan Butcher. Hands it off, knocked on by the Roosters.
Should take the 2.
40-4 in favour of Penrith, as it's just fatigue, isn't it, from the Roosters?
Mate, they have looked fatigued for the last 18 minutes. You can see that.
That's very specific.
It was literally 18 minutes. I wrote it down.
Don't forget your texts are welcome, 0467 920 222. Your talents are extraordinary. Team wants to happen to Marky Mark, their swinger, last season. Get the Wallabies jersey. He shut up shop. Well, I don't know about that, but it hasn't gone his way tonight, that's for sure. Now it's Penrith from the scrum win. 18 out from their own line with 1 minute 20 to go. Tom Jenkins, he puts the ink in pink. Now centre field for the Panthers, just over their 30-metre line. So we'll get a chance for one interview, I think, with Jonty after the game. And then Gibbsy can record one for Spriggy's post-game show, no doubt. 5 short of halfway as it comes to the left of Martin. Got the pass away. Quick hand from Phillips to Cleary. Then away to Lungy. He got it away. Garner.
Oh, Jenkins again.
McLean. Well, Luke Garner obviously hates Tom Jenkins because he messed it up again. Had McLean and Jenkins to his outside, and Luke Garner threw an absolute nightmare pass. 35 seconds to go. Penrith 40, Sydney Roosters.
That was a sitter. That was a dead set sitter. They had 3 on 1.
And it's the last minute.
And it's the last minute. It's 3 on 1. That was the chance right there. And they didn't want to make it come off.
Well, maybe Luke Garner hates you.
Oh, that's not very nice. I think he doesn't hate me.
I'm going to go no clock.
You think he what?
He does not hate me.
Who does? Storm and Warriors will stop the Panthers, reckons Francis. Evening, fellas. Thanks for a great call. Enjoying the band to keep up the awesome work. Paul from Inglestone, Queensland. That's nice, Paul. Thank you. As the Roosters win the scrum, they have it 3 short of halfway. 20 seconds to go. Penrith 40-4. Again, they announce their presence in 2026 with a loud, blaring siren to every other team in the comp. Watson goes right. They lose the ball to Egan Butcher. Here they go, Louis. 3 seconds left, but Luke Garnett's played Hogsy. He's going to be caught 8 short of halfway. And that's it. Penrith win comfortably. Penrith win brilliantly over the Sydney Roosters, 40 points to 4. And that's 2 years in a row at the Roosters' home ground that the Panthers have put on 40. 7 tries to 1. The point scorers for Penrith, 40 points. Tries to Tom Jenkins in the 6th. Dylan Edwards' second try in the 71st. Nathan Cleary, 6 goals from 8 attempts. Isaiah Yohan report for a high tackle in the 54th minute, 3 restarts. For the Roosters, they open the scoring back in the 5th minute with a try to Rob Toyer. Sam Walker none from 1. Challenge lost in the first half. There was a successful challenge for Penrith, albeit a weird one. 8 restarts for them. Penalty 7-4 to the Panthers, who turn a 24-4 halftime lead into a 40 points to 4 thrashing before a crowd of 22,128, which for a 6 p.m. game in Sydney and the horrendous rain that we had an hour or 2 before kickoff, it's not as bad. Well, it's not too bad, over 22,000, that's for sure. We'll get a quick reaction downstairs from Gibbsy, and then we'll head over to Brett Sprigg and the team at Amy Park in Melbourne. Well, here's one of the real stars for Penrith, Gibbsy, with you now.
Yeah, Tom Jenkins. It was crazy at the end there. Luke Garner had a couple of opportunities. Your eyes were lighting up. You got 4. Could have been a club best 5 to equal Peter Langmack. What were you thinking?
Nah, I wasn't too concerned about me scoring. It was more just about a team and our edge. And I was looking for Case there. Give him a bit of love. He's been setting me up all night. So if I found the backfield, I'd say I'd be looking for him.
Now, the start of the game, they scored the first try. It was a really good move by Robert Toya. That seemed to sharpen your boys' focus. You clicked into gear. You've had a great record against the Roosters in recent times, but they were looking good. That was a really good performance.
Yeah, they're unreal, mate. We knew they were going to start fast, and we definitely know we're getting in the habit of getting kicked in the teeth, and then that started getting us going. So we knew that we were a bit slow to start, but once that happened, we sort of got back into the game, got into the grind, and I thought it was really good for the next 65 minutes after that.
That's a great record. Just the last thing, you're the first player in Penrith history to score multiple tries in the first 3 rounds of the competition. Well done.
Thank you, appreciate it.
There's Tom Jenkins with John Gibbs after his 4-try performance. All right, Louis, what about your ABC Player of the Year points?
Oh, Nathan Cleary, 3. Masterclass out there again, just killing it. I thought he's just getting better every game. Dylan Edwards, I thought he was brilliant in number 1. He gets my 2. And I went Brian Toll for 1 because I think he changed that momentum early in the game, and his strong carries out of the backfield and his really good reads in defence. So he gets my 1 point.
So 3 points Nathan Cleary, 2 points Dylan Edwards, 1 point Brian To'o. What about his try in the first half? Penrith have beaten the Roosters 40-4. Louis, catch you tomorrow at Shark Park from 2.
I can't wait to see you there nice and early.
Thank you, Jonty. Good job, mate. We'll catch you on Sunday.
Thank you, mate.
Good on you, John Gibbs. Thank you to our producer, Ralph.